Hello, welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. We play lots of Dungeons and Dragons. It's Friday. It's still lockdown. We're still going to roll dice and kill shit. Mr. Rob is going to do the dungeon mastering for us. We are currently playing Icewind, Rime of the Frost Maiden, which I believe is D&D Beyond / Jumping Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons most recent release. Yes. So come and watch us. This is session 306 or 7, one of them. So you could catch us.
I'd be 12, 13.
Are we in double figures?
So it was like 6 and 9.
There's an add-on.
Yeah, I don't think we're in double figures yet. Maybe. Anyway, if you want to find out what session we're actually on, go to YouTube and you'll be able to see the rest.
Yeah, I'm having a look.
We're all over social media, so feel free to click on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. If you design a social media platform, let us know. We'll be on that as well.
This is episode 11 according to YouTube.
We're just into double figures. We're on social media. We are currently sponsored by Loke Battle Mats for this particular session. They're incredible map artists. They've just smashed their funding for their current wilderness map Kickstarter. They do flip books basically. Flip them out, you've got a map straight in front of you, boom, on a table, off you go. Those of you that are playing online, you can get their stuff at DM's Guild and get all their digital stuff. So every bit of art they do it digitally. For like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, any other VTTs that you use. They're for free, some are for free, some are pay what you want, some are a few quid. They also stream on, I think it's a Monday night, where you can see their artists actually designing and coming up with the new stuff. They've got a Taverns and Towns out as well, which gives you a more urban-esque book of maps to use. So check them out. If you want to sponsor the show, let us know, and we'll say yes, because that's cool. We use Syrinscape.
We'll play D&D for dice.
If we use Syrinscape for our background music, so if you can hear it, let us know. If you can't hear it, let us know. There probably should be some tunage going on. We've been messing about with the online player and stuff, so it may be sporadic tonight, but usually there is music in the background. If you throw 200 bits at the episode, session, whatever you want to call it, us players get a free reroll that we can use on any of our rolls, except the Dungeon Master's rolls. We can't carry them over, so we've got to use them this session, and we can only hold 5 at any one time. Regarding using them on death saving rolls, that's Dungeon Master's call, so go with that. Sponsor Syrinscape bits. There you go, just like that, 200 bits thrown in by Mr. Ruffworx. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will need them.
What a gentleman and a scholar.
I think that is it for stuff. Oh, those of you interested in 5e content, if you go to the DM's Guild and put in Heavyweight Gaming, you will find Tasha's heavier crockpot of bits and bobs. It is 80 summit pages of ridiculous creativity from a bunch of nerds who love 5e, who have created subclasses, 80 new spells, loads of feats and stuff like this. Go check it out. Last check we was at 120 copies sold, so it's gained a bit of traction. It's been Copper's best pick of the week. It was 8th most popular at one point. It's got some really cool stuff in, and it's the first of many DnD5e source books we'll be releasing, so check that out. Hello. Right, I'm going to hand you over to Rob, the GM, and he's going to carry on our adventures in Icewind.
I'm getting tangled up in a headphone wire. I'm just going to put it at the front.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
There we go. It's gonna annoy me on camera, but it's better than me choking myself out midstream. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. Glad to see everyone back after a little bit of a hiatus, as it were. Always good to see the friendly people in chat. We are back playing Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, with our campaign Secrets Worth Dying For. We are on episode 12. We're going to have a very brief recap just to bring everyone back up, including a few of the players who've we've been a while for a little bit, so we just wanted to get everyone up to speed. And yeah, we'll jump right in. So, story so far. Around 10 towns. The Elkis, our inquisitive goblin paladin, following the death of his mentor and mother figure in his life, set about investigating and pulled together this group of individuals and either through charity, coin, or coercion, join the cause. where
No
they quickly got on the
streaming heavy?
trail of a spree of killings around a few of the towns,
Heavy?
and their inquisitive nature led them on the trail. Following a few diversions and a few adventurers and a few adventures on the side, they eventually found their way
Lee.
up the top of Calvin's Cairn, the mountain that towers above the 10 towns, following a rescue mission for a mountaineer named Garrett. Now, while they're up there, they found the remains of a group of adventurers seeking relics and artifacts, seemingly a reoccurring theme of lost cities and lost civilizations and people Indiana Jonesing out in the snow looking for stuff. Where they first came across a substance known as shardlin, a magic crystal-esque substance that is surrounded by a bit of myth and legend. Fast forward a little while, and their investigations continue, and they found themselves in Caer Konig, the hometown of their ranger, Vale, where after meeting Trovis, the town speaker, they took after some hidden thieves of the night, which turned out to be Duragar, using magic to hide their forms. They found themselves in an old dwarven fortress to the north, where after a pretty rough infiltration, not the quietest of sneaking missions, and then a pretty loud fight and a fierce battle with a Duragar named Nildar, they were victorious, and they found a small collection of artifacts, shards, and pieces of the shardlin substance, along with a note addressed to Brother, highlighting further Duragar incursions across the 10 towns and the apparent rise to power of their father. At this point, the lovely goblin Elkis found a pendant that belonged to his mentor, seemingly connecting her untimely death to the Duragar, and took up his right of vengeance and became a vengeance paladin in looking at avenging his mother figure. The group retired back and ended up in the town of Easthaven, where they arrived late in the afternoon and witnessed the closing moments of what appeared to be a public execution. After a little bit of an inquiry with the stern half-elven, the captain of the guard, Imdra, they discovered that a mage from outside the towns had arrived, recruited a bunch of sellswords and mercenaries, and then apparently turned on them and killed them. And as such, following a brief questioning, he was put to death in Easthaven and burnt at the stake. They booked an appointment to meet the town speaker, Daneth, in the morning and went to find drink, food, and bed, where they found a seance conducted by a strange halfling, where they got a few pointers and a few directions and a few questions answered by the seeming spirit of the Lady of the Lake that they crossed a few days prior. And then, after some downtime with some interesting flirting with Nemetra, the dragonborn barkeep of the Wet Trout Inn in Easthaven, a bunch of cloaked figures arrived, and after a shouting across the bar, they took off into the night, seemingly startled. A brief chase into the wilds, the cloaked individuals were revealed to be the trader Torga, the dwarven trader Torga, who was linked to the killings that they've been investigating, which led, after a little bit of a passive-aggressive standoff and some evasive questioning skills, some gentle steps, they got into a pretty intense fight with not only Torga and her sellswords, but also the mysterious character known as Sefek, an individual seemingly with links to Auriel the Frost Maiden. The blue-eyed man was brought down and shattered into millions of tiny pieces of ice after screaming into the cold that the winter is everlasting and not the adventurers, nor the Duragar, nor the mages would prevent it. The party we pick up just after that battle. It is in the middle of the night, the cold blackness of the snowy tundra around you. A few of you worse for wear, battered, bloodied. And as you kind of get your senses around you, you kind of see the silhouette of the trees. You've got these small crop of trees, the abandoned caravan of Torga, the corpses starting to build up a coverage of snow, and Ardry, your arcane practitioner, seemingly transfixed by a small sliver of greyish energy. That is all that remains of your defeated foe. And that is where... What the hell? Whose microphone's just exploded? Sorry about that. Yep, that is where we pick up. You guys are weary, battle weary. Your muscles ache. Those who've taken injuries, those injuries are still sore and fresh. The biting cold making them sting. And yeah, the night wind whips around you, and you see Ardry just kind of transfixed with this sliver of energy. Not far from where you are, Elkis, as you, I believe, were the one who delivered the coup de grace, as it were.
Well, that's odd.
What is that? Is it just still floating in front of us, Rob?
Yeah, it's probably about the size of an ancient game of golf ball, floating in the air. It looks like a piece of. It's kind of got this icy appearance, almost like a shard of glass. It's just kind of slowly spinning in place. It's got kind of this clouded, milky grey appearance to it.
General Stace, did you spit on me?
You want me to spit on you?
Does anybody have a glass bottle?
I felt something. I thought you'd spat your drink or something.
Normally my spit doesn't float around in the air.
That's true.
Anybody have a glass bottle?
I
start patting myself down for like a bottle that has water. Nick.
I touch it.
Oh, before you do that, you're going to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Make a I touch it.
Don't saving throw.
You're dead. It explodes in a mushroom cloud. The Dale removed from time.
Adri is less wise than Elkis.
That will be a 9.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
That will be goodbye, Adri.
Do I have to smash Adri now? I'm sorry.
I hate you all. That's not being funny, you bastards. You're not sure why you're drawn to it. You've just got this nagging feeling in the back of your head that it is linked to that you've got a connection with those you've seen in your visions, those you've seen when you've tried to reach out to the powers that you loan your powers from. And this essence, you get the feeling, is a source of power that you felt when you first noticed Sephic's presence, and when you were fighting Sephic. It's got that same essence that you detected previously.
Whoa. Touch it.
Well, I thought you know.
How far am I from Adri?
About 30, well, you'd be shooting it with arrows, I imagine, so probably about 30, 40 feet away.
I
minimum.
was going to more like rugby tackle Adri as she reaches out for it. Like on all fours.
Both of you, just let's, for the sake of seeing, roll initiative, the pair of you, just to see who's quick.
Jesus.
To see if you can react quicker than... Because
Back to the
Audrey wouldn't be
reroll.
next to it either. Audrey, yeah, you'd see Audrey walking across to it because she was slinging spells. And if you can react quicker than she can.
10.
What'd you roll, Audrey?
18.
Yeah, you see her walking, and almost in slow motion, you're like, no. But no, she takes a couple of strides over, and the hands makes contact before you get halfway across the distance. Audrey, you are immediately assaulted with almost
Small,
like
tiny goblin.
almost like an overhead, like sweeping, like panoramic shot, almost like a bird's eye view in super fast forward. And the images are very fast. They flash between bright blues, whites, darkness, creatures you don't recognize, these avian eyes that seem to look through you, and there's just this almost like a flick book of just this rapid imagery.
Are they the same avian eyes that I've been
Yes.
seeing?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
It's very disorientating. There's a few things you kind of pick out in the assault of imagery. One being an island surrounded by mist, water, isolated with what appears to be a fortress or like a large fortified tower in the center. And then the image flashes again, and you see a unfathomably large just wall of ice that just extends endlessly in both directions and upwards. You just kind of stood on the snow, and there's this infinitely large sheet of ice in all directions. Then the images flash again, and you see a frozen garden of sorts with the leafless trees encased in ice and figures throughout, all with kind of this sheen to them, this otherworldliness about them, and just these pinpricks of blue light amongst them. And then as you release your hand, and there's kind of that disorientation, you kind of stumble, and your hand breaks contact with the essence, and you find yourself a little bit dazed, but you're back in the clearing. And you kind of see this small slither of energy kind of begin to increase its rotation. It kind of just starts, and the light gets a little bit brighter, and you feel, not through your ears, but you hear directly into your head just this very soft, emotionless whisper that just says, "Take it."
Take all of it.
Elkis is cleaning his Warhammer. Don't give a shit anymore.
I open up into that and I ask what's in it for me.
There's no response. The item, the essence, begins to spin faster and glows brighter.
I take it. I don't know how I'm going to take it. I don't think I have anything to, like, bottle it or anything.
It gets faster and brighter still. Gets to a point where it's almost painful to look at. Like in this dark night, you're all kind of having to kind of look away a little bit. It's just getting brighter and brighter and brighter.
Could I
What are you doing? What are you doing, Audrey?
Can I imbue it into my crystal of arcane focus?
What's your crystal of arcane focus? Is that your
It's
thing you have, isn't it?
Just my thing for arcane focus. Surely that is.
So what would you like to do? What do you do?
I take the essence. However, I do that, but I do it.
Okay. So as it almost gets this painful kind of starting to, even with your eyes almost closed, it's just like almost like burning the image through. You pull out your essence, and the item immediately contracts in, and that soft white light kind of engulfs the essence for a second and then fades down. And there's your arcane essence just has this very, very, very soft, pulsating white glow, which, unless it's in like the real, you only can just about see it. It's just kind of got this little hue around it, almost otherworldly, like spectral essence around it. And you feel the cold of the night air disappear. You feel that, and you kind of stow your artifact. You kind of look for a second, and you realize you no longer feel the cold.
dare I say, do I feel warm?
I wouldn't say warm. You feel indifferent to it.
Did I see
No,
the?
You're not comfortable. It's not like, oh, in front of a roaring fire, but also it's that discomfort of being, wet and cold and out in the ice and the wind hitting you. You can still feel the wind and there's no hitting you. It just doesn't give you the same. This is cold. This is uncomfortable. And that sting of the bite of it.
Well, that's a game changer. Interesting, interesting. I can't wait to be cursed from this.
It's almost like you don't trust me.
Did I see the mark go into her?
Make a
It went
perception check.
into
You were cleaning your hammer.
I was.
I'm gonna take a step towards her and just kind of look at her like,
Shoot her.
"Are you okay?"
12.
Just
Yeah, you'd have seen that.
I'm gonna pull on Adri's coat and ask her to bend down and look me in the face.
Anyone who was, unless you were actively doing something else, that would have been pretty. I mean, when this thing started glowing, like you were like, "What the hell?"
Yep.
But then, it'd be hard to.
I've been watching this nonstop, so I'm just kind of like trying to see if there's any changes, anything weird, and
I mean,
let the pally do his thing.
I assume I would went to rugby tackler, then stopped.
Like just,
Yeah, you'd have
stopped right
headed there,
there.
and then you'd have been like, okay, that's bright. Where's she gone?
Adri,
sun it burns.
can I see your eyes?
Eyes, the goggles, they do nothing.
I just look down at Elkus and go,
What colour are Adri's eyes?
Same colour they've always been.
Yeah, they're normal.
Okay,
Oh, that
just
would have been too obvious.
I'll put my hammer away then.
Come on, guys, give me some credit.
I was double checking. I didn't know if I would have to.
If I'm gonna ruin one of you with curses, it's not gonna be that obvious. Let's be honest.
I didn't expect to
A
be that
simple
quick,
change of eye
Minister.
colour.
but if I see blue eyes, they're getting smashed.
Do you know
Vale
what
has
happens
naturally
when
blue
I-
eyes, so I don't like this.
You've seen her when she's used her arcane abilities in the past. You've seen kind of the
Like,
same energy that leaves her
yeah.
body like emanate from her eyes. That's happened more.
I've seen that. That's fine.
Yeah, I have blue eyes when I spellcast anyway, so.
Well, just don't do it near me.
Keep those blue eyes away.
Don't worry, I'm considerably taller than you. I'm sure it just goes straight over your head.
I'm watching your eyes.
Like most things, to be fair.
Okay.
Nothing
Just
can
like,
go over me. I
literally.
can jump too high.
For
so
the
I would,
make a note, Audrey, you are immune to any negative cold weather effects, including
You are cursed.
including
Of course I'm cursed, but shit, it was worth it.
You are
including
cursed with not blue
cold,
eyes.
including frozen water.
just about
you're
to say, if any of us falls in,
so you
Cheesy
are
girl.
you are resistant to cold-based weather and environmental conditions.
Resistant,
cold
not
damage?
immune.
Mechanically, you're not immune to cold damage. You are immune to cold weather and cold water.
Okay.
Basically wearing a magical coat. Magical wetsuit.
Yeah.
You are considered wearing cold weather gear, regardless of circumstance. Basically,
That's fine, because what I've done is that on my immunities, I've done immunity to cold, weather in brackets.
that will do.
I thought that would be helpful.
so, guys, are we going to sleep here in the forest? Or are we going to go back to town?
You look around, and a few of you are still like nursing wounds. There's fresh snow mixed with sprays of crimson. There are the 3 remains, and there are still kind of a smattering of these small ice crystals of the remains of your adversary.
Oh, yeah,
I
I'd like
haven't
to
looted the remains.
I'd like to search
I'm not
bodies.
sure. I'm not sure how healthy you all are, but I think a few of you took a moderate
Taking a
kicking.
smack,
Now,
yeah.
Audrey got stabbed at least twice.
I didn't.
Not Audrey, sorry, Vale got stabbed at least twice.
I got stabbed once, I think.
I think
but for a
one of you
significant amount of damage.
went down. I think Gentle Steps hit
Gentle
the deck
Steps
at one
went down.
point.
General
Uh,
Sense went down, yeah.
I've got a fat lip and a bleeding nose, which is quite serious because I've got a big nose.
I'm a
Oh,
little.
yeah. I've got a hole
I'm a little
through me.
bruised.
He put his sword through my back.
Yeah.
I've been impaled, basically.
Oh no.
Do you need healing?
Wasn't I stabbed as well? I think I was, because I'm at 7 HP right now. I think I took a pretty good couple of shots from what's her face before.
yeah,
she
I'm
face
okay for
planted.
now. Just a hole like right through my chest, but I'm okay.
I can touch some
Fine.
people.
It's not if we're gonna sleep.
Touch
It's
me,
not worth it at
touch
the
me.
moment.
Are we sleeping?
That's why I was just asking general stuff. Do we sleep in the forest, or do we go back to town?
Go back to town. It's just there. Let's just go back to.
There's also a
What's up?
caravan right there.
There is,
True.
yeah.
But my apartment's just across there. It's only a few minutes away. Wasn't it, Rob? Was it a few minutes away that we walked?
Yeah, what you...
Couple
it was
hundred
probably that- It was like a good... Yeah, it was like, I don't know, a 5-10 minute brisk run. Like,
She's
It
gonna
feels
turn to the
forever.
group.
I'll sleep
Listen, everybody,
anywhere.
it's a few minutes away. It's my place. It's comfortable and safe. Let's just head on over there. I'll carry
you,
whoever needs to be
you
carried.
probably get the feeling it's
Is there any way to
probably
nick-
maybe a mile and a half at most.
Is there any way to get the caravan
yeah, a
back?
few minutes.
Is there any animals or?
There doesn't appear to be. There seems to be like almost like a canvas like veranda that's been pulled out and pegged down like the front of a almost like it's a semi-permanent fixture. There is facilities and fixtures to attach beasts of burden, but there doesn't appear to be any in the area.
Have
Can I
we
have a look
searched
in
the
it?
caravan? Yeah.
Back off.
And the
That's
bodies.
what I was gonna ask.
And the bodies, we've not searched them yet either.
I want to have a look in the caravan, please.
Yeah, and if everybody remembers, there was a snowstorm coming in, so staying out here, why would we risk it?
We're in it, aren't we? Didn't we fight it?
Yeah, we were actually snowmen at one point before we kind of went to attack.
Now that
So
you
yeah,
take,
I'd like to get
now
back
that-
to my place.
now that you take a minute and you look around, and that the adrenaline starts fading out of your system, you do notice the intensity of the storm has subsided. It is still snowing, but it's more of a light, lazily coverage, and there's those big, heavy flakes that are just kind of drifting down and settling and sticking to your hair and sticking to beards and furs and whatever you may have. It's
Do you think Jack Frost brought the storm?
I think I'm still looking through the caravan.
Meanwhile, on this week, AD battles, autofocus, and losers.
Constant battle. 'cause
80,
my
turn the
autofocus
background
is
off for a
horrible.
second. Turn the background off for a second, then it'll
I think
refocus
he
in
looks
probably.
better like
Yeah,
that.
there's naked pictures all over the place.
Oh no.
Him, he's just got a
Yeah.
giant
Just
canvas.
Tony-
of just-
That's Tony's bedroom.
What's naked pictures on the wall?
Why would
Perverts.
anyone
That's so
do
Tony.
that?
Very creative,
Right.
artistic, beautiful perverts.
Aren't we all? Moving on.
And in-
What's
I'll
the
take that.
so? Who's doing what?
I would like to search a body.
I'm searching the caravan.
You're gonna have to be more specific. You can roll an investigation check.
I will search the dwarf.
All any. Okay.
I'm
So
helping
those
Adri.
who are
Not Adri Vale.
What?
all right.
I'm helping.
Anyone who would
Vale.
like. Anyone
I
who's
will search a
searching.
dead body. Yeah.
Anyone
Are you
who is.
proficient? Sorry.
Been a while.
Been a while.
Anyone who is wanting to search the bodies first, just roll me an investigation check quick.
19.
I'll just wait around because everybody's searching everything, so I'm just gonna kind of like look around the ground if anything was dropped anywhere.
That would be a 3. I think there's a body there.
Are you sure?
I
While you're kind of rummaging through like
might be
the
searching
outer.
the campfire. I don't know.
No.
flow, you kind of you're rummaging. You just kind of like
Burning your
getting
fingers.
tangled up in the robe, in the cloaks, and
13.
between the rest of you, you manage to work your way through the 3 remains. Torga has a small coin purse that has
time.
53 gold pieces.
Yoink.
Thank you, Goff,
She also has a scimitar. And what appears to be a fairly nice set of studded leather.
Ooh, I'm already wearing studded leather. Is it fancier than my unstudded leather?
Looks pretty nice. Yours is yours is like been cut down and like home sewn to be able to fit your frame.
Yeah, I made it.
Cats and a rabbit stapled
Oh.
to you.
I like
Hey, I made this armor.
Live cats.
Just attack anything in front of them.
Did you know that cats do not like to be worn?
Uh,
They won't hold on
on
to
the-
each other. And
on the other two remains, you find a combined 13 gold pieces and 42 silver between the two. You find a pair of fairly functional, not necessarily pretty, heavy crossbows.
ooh.
Don't ever draw that, Tony.
He already has. You can
That is not.
And you
That is not your muse. Alright.
and you find a total of 5 kind of small concealed daggers that look, again, not particularly pretty, but perfectly sharp and usable.
Have we got a treasurer? Is someone writing all this down?
It's all
I'm
up here.
writing it down.
All
I
up.
hope so, because I'm not.
Well, I heard
Writing it
it's studded
down.
leather. That's in my head.
It's not written down on a bit of paper. You left it in the snow.
55 gold pieces, studded leather, a scimitar, like 5 okay looking daggers. I don't remember the other bit.
I got 50 gold
Some
plus another
silver.
13 gold plus 42 silver.
Yeah.
50, 13, and 4.
It was
Who was
55.
searching?
I was helping
Caravan.
Vale search for caravan.
Okay, the pair of you can either both roll investigation or one of you with an advantage.
Just
Whichever
roll
way you wanna do it.
Vale.
Roll advantage.
Yeah.
That's a 13 and a 16, so 16 plus 2, 18.
So Gentle Steps kind of, without much effort at all, kind of just breaks the side of the door and kind of pulls past the latch
With my roguish
and
skills.
roguish checks with your dexterity.
How
You
General
break-
says
you-
picks a lock.
Crash. You get in and you
Punches
kind
it.
of, it's rudimentary kind of bunks at the back with a bunch of kind of sacks, crates. There's a few boxes scattered around. There's a few cases of kind of spoiled fresh, or as fresh can be, fish and meats.
Spoiled fresh.
Oiled
fish.
fresh.
Fish and
Boiled
meats is
fresh
one of them.
meat.
Sweet.
Get rid of the fresh word.
It's pretty fresh if it's frozen.
I prefer not to.
I hate you all so much. There's a some sort of like rice or grain. It's almost like a larder, if you like. There's a few supplies. A lot of it seems not the life of luxury. It's very meager foods, survival rather than luxury. There seems to be a few supplies. There seems to be a box full of glass vials. Like kind of, you hear that glass chinking as you move the box. And then, what did you roll total? Sorry,
18.
18. At the back, under a few of the bedrolls, you do find kind of this long metal case, probably around 5 feet long, almost like a fancy like pool cue case, for lack of a better word. And it appears to have quite a chunky looking lock on the front of it.
Cool.
You want me to remove the lock?
Yeah, go on.
I'll remove the
Within the
lock.
rest of the things, like these bunk, like almost like a tour bus. Like you've got these bunks
Yeah.
that kind of built into the sides and all the
How many?
Details on the walls.
How many bunks? How many does it birth?
4 in total, 2 on each side.
Whilst Vale is tinkering around and moving duvets and stuff, I'll try and pick the lock with my
Make-
thieves' tool.
Make a dexterity check plus your proficiency.
Oh no,
How big is your lockpick?
pervert.
It's his hammer.
On the bottom, he just
Relax.
takes the blade off Sebastian. There's just a tiny little lockpick on the end
Like
on a
little
massive
corned
stick.
beef tidbit, you know what I mean?
Just takes a hairpin out of his beard.
Sebastian is Swiss. Just- that one.
Dexterity check. Plus
Your
proficiency.
proficiency. I'm assuming you're proficient with thieves' tools.
I am, yeah. 14 plus 17 plus 19. Not plus
14
19.
plus
14
17.
plus
Fucking hell.
17. I was like, whoa. Okay.
That's a 31 with
That's me,
fixed
Jax.
What was the total? Sorry.
19 total.
So you spend a few minutes. It's not the easiest thing ever. Like your hands are cold. You're pretty injured. You've had the shit kicked out of you in the last hour.
You don't know.
Bleeding out.
Just kind of motion everybody like,
There's a
can we just go back to my place, please?
there's a few kind of choice language as you're like, bastard, like, mother, and eventually you hear
Goliath.
a click.
Cool.
and the block comes off in your hand.
Sorry.
I'm gonna
What's going
turn
on?
around and
Are you
turn
okay?
around and be involved at him opening it.
Are you alright in there? Is this what happened?
It's fine.
Yeah, fine.
I'm courting. I'll open the I'll open the case.
Yeah, make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Yep.
Joked. However,
24.
ooh, very nice. As you open it,
Dexterity
you
save.
put
Yeah?
the yeah,
Yeah, 24.
yeah, and as you open it, you hear a click, and kind of just out of instinct, you kind of just like lean back, and immediately you see the built into the lid is a couple of these like spring-loaded darts of these shot like crude slivers of metal that just fling out of the lid and kind of just skim the front of your head and embed themselves
Catches it.
in the
In my
Top
head,
of the
I imagine
cabin.
the fist just reaching out.
boxing glove on a spring. Wow!
When you said he leans back, I just imagined him dodging a fist that jumps out.
Mystical icy fist.
And these three
Steps
darts just
avoided
embed
it.
themselves in. They just embed themselves in the wood above you.
Pew pew pew.
What on earth? Gentle steps. What is it?
Guys, okay in there?
We're fine.
Yeah,
In the
still
box.
fine.
Yeah, what's
In
in
the-
the box?
Okay.
In the
One
box
cock's
seems
arrow.
to be a very, very ornate
Poke you.
Now it
quarter
is.
staff.
Be useful.
What weapon are
Never
none
know.
of you proficient with? Let's go with that now. You find a very, very pretty looking longsword. It has got a slight curve to it. It appears to have engravings down the hilt. The quillions and the crossguard are very beautifully smithed. And the whole blade seems to carry this almost burgundy hue to it. It's almost like it's not like it's been painted. Like if you blew a blade and you've got like normally have that like kind of blue appearance to blued steel. This seems to have kind of this burgundy hue to the metal itself.
Curve like a saber or a katana.
More like a saber.
Cool. I'll take it out.
It's kind of got that like eastern long, so like the western long sword look, like a big pommel, big quilling. It's just that
Yeah.
blade has this slight curve as it extends. The blade's probably around 5.5 feet in length, and fairly chunky.
5.5 feet in length.
Big sword. That's bigger than
Could
me.
be
Yeah,
Sebastian's
never mind.
cousin.
I was just thinking that would be nice to
Mechanically,
hold
it is a long sword, not a great sword.
Oh, okay. Vale
What
use
is it? Gentle
a.
steps.
Well, I've got it in my hand.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
It's a
Oh,
sword.
that's nice looking. Someone obviously wanted to protect it.
It
Is there a
feels
sheath
like
and stuff
when
with
you
it, or just blade?
in the box it was wrapped in kind of this black, almost like velvety material wrapped down the length of it and then folded in onto the box. There doesn't appear to be a sheath or anything of. It seems to be been kept in this box for whatever reason.
Cool. I've got a couple of loop sheaths on my belt. I'll hang it from my hip.
Nice.
You,
then-
as you like kind of you like hold it in your hand and it feels very well crafted. It's up there with the better of the weapons you have wielded in your time.
I pat Sebastian. He doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it.
That perfectly balanced and agile great axe, known for its balance point.
Those rogues know how to use it. Jesus Christ, I'm
What was that?
That
There's a balloon. Assassination by balloon. That's what that was.
that's that trap going off.
I thought Sebastian had come alive.
If that popped, that just would have been ow. My ears would have just been.
Oh yeah, you have a red-hued longsword.
Okay.
Can you use that, gentle
Shiny.
steps?
Yes.
Oh, good stuff.
All right then.
Yeah, watch.
I could use anything, with or without proficiency.
Can you use that well?
Better.
You trained
Yes.
with a weapon like that.
Can use
Yeah,
anything
we're
better
all
than you.
trained. All my tribe is trained with weapons.
Elkis is trained in martial weapons.
I have two
Hello.
gigantic swords.
Keep
I'm
it,
just
I
a
can't
little
feel the
taller
cold.
than the sword, though.
More interested in the studded leather.
Can I try out the sword one day? Just give me
Oh,
one
are
swing.
We're going to show
we-
the others.
One
Yeah,
swing.
if you want.
Yep.
Have we found anything else?
really.
I think I found my foot.
Jesus, Hocus, where did you come from?
Just
He was in the case.
We're still in the game.
What
Stealthy.
as you kind of conclude your rummaging around and ransacking of this container, this caravan, you find a few papers that kind of outlining the trade routes, kind of a very short handed profit loss book, like inventory checks. Nothing that jumps out of the ordinary. There is the box of glassware and the kind of there's a bed rolls and grain. There's a bit of dried meat that looks still edible.
There is some really fresh,
Edible.
gone off fresh food in there.
God.
Fresh,
Well,
fresh
I love
boiled
it.
Oh
food
no,
in here, guys.
frozen food.
This is the
I
problem
love-
with running D&D Friday evenings. Brain's just gone.
It's not the only problem.
How gone is it?
It's
Still
not
fresh.
gone anyway. It's fresh.
I love it.
It's freshly off.
Oh, you can kind of the rest of you can kind of see like that green tinge around the edges of some of the pieces, and
Elkus is probably just immune to any kind of like
it's kind of
like that
it's
anyway.
hard-
So
it's kind of got that half frozen, partly dyed, like defrosted kind of look about it.
It
doesn't
looks
look
almost
particularly
ripe.
pleasant. Yeah, to you, it probably looks fine. The rest of you are like, it's kind of that risky chicken in your fridge that's been there kind of a week too long, and you're not
Risky
quite sure if you can fry it off.
A week too long. And you're
I've never
not
been in that
sure.
situation.
No,
But, yeah.
like a day, maybe two, when it's got that slight
But a
smell.
week.
We've just
Oh.
we've just found the north-south divide.
Until it walks away from you, it's edible.
I mean, even the boondocks of America, we don't go through that. Just,
Pussies.
damn. Maybe
Guys,
they do, but then
anyway,
again, they yeah.
Guys, we found this quite nice looking sword. Sword.
Sword.
Long short.
Lovely
I
sword.
also found a sword. I don't know what it was.
Sean Connery's
Lovely.
initials on the blade.
I'm a sword.
Shiny sword.
Got this new sword.
I can
Show it
use
to you.
swords, but I like my hammer too.
Good for you. I can use swords.
I think
But can-
General
but can
Steps
you
is carrying
shorts?
it. I'm just letting you know that we found a nice sword.
And I'll do a little flurry, spin round the wrist, and then just loop it back in, as if I am proficient with swords. Right?
Yeah, he
Jesus.
I'm going to try that with my warhammer.
roll
What?
roll a deck save.
Wait, what?
He's going to
I-
try and
I
flourish with a
spun
warhammer.
the sword. He's
Like
spinning
Like it's a
Uh,
spinning
something
pole.
His warhammer is sized for a human, just to put that in perspective.
That
we
is
all
not
do
as bad as I
dexterity
expected.
checks.
That's a 12.
12. Okay, you kind of almost like bow staff kind of like twirl around your body, essence of this hammer that weighs a considerable amount, is no way, shape, and form balanced for any form of baton twirling. You narrowly avoid breaking your own knees and kind of spin it round before it kind of tips you over and you end up face down in the snow as the hammer clatters for several feet in front of you.
I meant to do that.
I believe you.
Thank
On
you.
that note, did you find
No, I'm
anything
back.
on the bodies?
Gold. Some gold. A bit of gold.
An amount of gold.
Some gold.
I found ash and some wood. It felt warm, so it was obviously one of the fresh bodies. But not much else.
Yes.
Good.
Maybe next time you
Leather.
help us, Elkis.
Sure.
I think we got some studded leather armor, some a scimitar. Was it a scimitar?
Scimitar.
A scimitar.
Scimitar.
I'm
Scimitar.
going to dual wield my sword and scimitar.
Fuck off.
And some daggers.
Can anyone else wear the studded leather? Because I can make good use of that.
I can.
I can, but I'm already wearing studded leather, so if it's
I can, but I'm already. Am I in leather? What the heck am I wearing? Wait.
I'll pick up the studded leather and stab it with a dagger. Is it quite resistant in comparison?
Well, I'm actually in heavy
I
armor.
stab gentle steps with the dagger.
I'm in heavy armor. If people want to kind of
testing
like
if it's
donate
magical,
studded leather to me
Vale.
down the line, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Well, you could have mine, but I think it'd be like a miniskirt.
I'm just going
Yeah.
to start putting on the studded leather if anyone stops me.
Okay, I'll
Let
keep
her
stab
have it. It's
Keep
fine.
stab-
I'll just have somebody else kind of crawl forward if we need to be sneaky, because I won't be sneaky anymore.
When I get some half plate or some plate, then you can by all means have mine and have like a studded leather bra and
There's,
skirt.
there's some in there.
heavy armor.
Elkis, there's some half plate in the caravan.
There's some half plate?
Yes.
I missed that.
You didn't look.
Is there some
You were out
Go
here.
and find it.
Is there some half plates fit me, Rob?
Do you
Say
go
again,
in?
sorry?
Do you go in the caravan?
Visual.
I will go look at the half plate and see if it'll fit me.
When he goes into the caravan to find it, no half plate, I'll turn to this lot. So we going back to Celine's place.
Yes.
I can't believe I did you, Tony, mate. Never mind Elkis. Tony's like, dear, is this half plate fit me?
Magically shrink it.
Oh God. In character, I turn to this lot.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Did I
It's been
get
a
the studded
while.
leather? Is anyone taking the studded leather?
No,
I
you
could
can
make
have
really
it.
good use of it. Nice.
You
Oh.
can have it.
I was gonna say, is there a chance I can have it? It'll only up my AC by 1, but it means that I'm not 11, I'm 12.
Great. As long as we're talking about this over an in-character campfire.
It's been
Would
a
it not
while.
affect any magic that you can cast on yourself? That
No.
bumps your AC? Okay.
I
suppose you can
actually
have it
have. I think Celine now has something that she can cast on people.
Called spells, Celine.
Yes, spells.
I'll
Or
start
cantrip.
walking towards town.
General says, where's the armor?
If you can't find it, just come here. It must have gone.
Magic armor. Okay. I'll catch
Celine
up
at
with you.
this point is just kind of like standing around, like.
I've started heading towards town.
And she's gonna follow gentle steps and just kind of trudge along because
I'll,
she's injured and needs to rest and eat.
As I hear the following, I'll start swaying my hips.
I will.
Sachets the entire mile and a half.
Celine, you don't look well. May I touch you?
Yeah, come hither.
I'll cast Lay on Hands and give Celine.
It's a long trail of red in the snow behind gentle steps.
Yep.
Gentle Slips has cleared the way, so I can just walk easier now. This is
Yep.
why I'm walking behind.
I will touch Celine and give 8 HP, and I will touch Gentle Steps and give another 7 HP.
Gentle steps is half a while down the road.
I've ran after him to dive on him and touch him.
I'm just gonna have a gentle stroll. I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay. So you guys, unless any of you are doing anything otherwise, you do make your way back to East Haven. It is pretty late. You kind of get that feeling it's gone midnight. You arrive back in town. It's quiet. There's the occasional sort of bundled up figure leaving. It seems that the taverns and things have wrapped down for the inns and the bars have wrapped down for the night. And what would you like to do?
Wind down for the night.
Going
was
to
gonna
Celine,
say-
aren't we?
I was gonna say pub, but that's
I
quite
was
much.
I was just about to say I need some food and then sleep.
Don't know
I
if
only
we're gonna
need
find any
like
food.
4 hours of Zen. So I am going to make my way to the pub if anybody wants to come along with me.
I will.
Because I need a drink, good
Is the-
girl.
It's still open?
Yeah.
It's wrapping down. Didn't say it was closed.
There were
It's
two
fine.
pubs there's 2 inns that you've been to since you've been in East Haven. There was the White Lady Inn and the Wet Trout.
That's across from
Spicy
Celine's
tuna.
apartment. Yeah.
You were
Wet
in the
Trout.
Wet Trout before
Yes.
you ran off, and that is a few minutes walk,
That's-
if that, from the accommodation.
Wet
Yep.
trout, please. Let's go to the wet trout.
Wet trout.
I prefer the soggy sardine.
Good for you.
Salty sardine, slapping wet trout. I don't care. It just needs to have booze
It's
in
not
it.
9 o'clock yet. Can we not?
3
3
minutes,
minutes.
guys.
3
3
minutes.
minutes.
So, what do you? You head to the tavern.
Yep, sliding right into that wood trap.
I'm off to sleep in Celine's apartment.
I'll go with gentle steps. I will
Do they
sleep
know?
separately.
Gravy. Yes, it's gravy time. Celine's just gonna. I need a moment. And
I need
even
a
though
moment.
she's healed, she's just kind of cold.
I'm not
just
entirely
tired.
sure you guys know where Celine's place is.
She said, "There, that's my house."
Do you know
Yeah,
Going
when
to
we
the
were
top?
Oh, you
walking.
point. Sorry.
Yeah,
yeah.
when we were walking to
I
the
could
wet
get in
trap
any building,
originally.
to be fair, so I'm sleeping.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
pointed to them
Words.
exactly where it is, and it's upstairs
Sure.
on the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Gentle steps.
who's
Are we in the right
going?
house?
We
Who's
are
going to the house and who is not?
Myself and Elkis are going to
You
the house.
and Elkis are going to the
I'm
house.
going to the house as well.
Vale,
You're going to the house.
Hmm
the other two
Audrey.
off on the piss.
Pub.
Oh,
Of course.
yes.
So,
Need to
Celine
Talk to the bar wench.
and Audrey, you make your way back to the wet trap. It appears the last few patrons are in the process of leaving, and the pub is in the process of closing for the evening.
I'm just gonna really quickly just tiptoe to the bar and just pull out like my little naggity bottle thing, 2 of them, because they're empty, and ask her just for it to go. You fill these up, please. Back at the place.
You. Just give me a second.
I would like to spend a short rest, just so you know, DM.
Okay.
Essentially focusing on the sword and messing around with it and seeing if I can identify its properties.
Are you proficient in Arcana?
Nope, don't need to be.
Okay, you're just
Attempting
playing
to
around with it.
attune.
Just
Yeah,
played this game before.
Yeah, if someone spends a short rest with a magical item, generally, I mean, obviously you can
Yeah.
rule it yourself. Innit?
I'm fine. It's okay. So you spend that. You two, the other people in the house, you just kind of observe quietly and kind of rest up. So if you guys want to do the relevant admin for your short rest, you may.
I'm going
Doesn't
long rest. I'm
include
just asleep.
Audrey and Celine.
My long
you
rest. I
guys-
just sleep.
You can in a second. You guys in the bar, you notice that there is a gentleman packing up down the bar rather than the Dragonborn you met earlier. It appears to be a horned, kind of dark greyish skinned tiefling, kind of long and lanky, who's kind of wiping down the tables and blowing out the lanterns and candles on the tables he's wiped down and starting to like pull the stools up on top and begin to pack everything away.
Is Celine familiar with him? She lives across and has inhabited that area quick.
Yeah, you recognize him by look. You don't necessarily know his
Okay.
name or anything about him. You recognize him as a local.
Hey,
All right. Sorry, it's closing down, I'm afraid.
I know.
Missed the
we
rush.
I'm gonna just kind of show him like the gash where I had, but it's healed where the sword is. I'm like, you want to just do me a favor, just fill these, then 2 up to go. We've had a long day. Just want to get back
Rough
to
night.
the place and
Rough night, was it?
slightly, a little bit.
Make a persuasion check.
Mm-hmm. 18.
He kind of sighs and for a split second he looks a little bit annoyed, but then he's like, he kind of nods his head in approval. And as he's walking away to the boys, any preference?
Anything you got, I will make your life too hard.
All right.
I'll turn to Adri. Any preference?
Sorry, what?
Any preference? What's your poison?
Adri was trying to look around, trying to look for the Dragon Ball, so she wasn't paying attention to anything.
Pick your poison.
Whiskey.
Whiskey it is, as the lady says.
You just. So what leaves you out this late then? What? Is it some beastie did that to you, the young one?
No, it's long gone, so at least the town's a little safer for the night.
This town's as safe as it. It's when
Just
you go out of the
kind of-
town, you've got the problems. As long as you stay within the boundaries, you tend to be all right.
Unfortunately, none of you noticed that some of the problems snuck into town. And
He's kind of slowly kind of decanting a bottle into your bottles.
they're
Times
gone
aren't
now.
safe. Times
just
aren't
kind
safe.
of-
getting worse out there each night. Don't head out in the night unless you have to. You know better than that, surely.
I do. What have you seen that's strange the last couple of days?
Same shit every day, isn't it? Sun doesn't come up. We bumble through the day. We keep the roof over the tavern, keep people fed, and keep
Nobody's
the
giving you
supply
any
of drink
trouble?
going. No more than usual. The guard's pretty strict around here. The
Do you know
militia
about the
are
guy
like-
that burnt?
I didn't see it myself. I heard they'd caught someone and there's going to be an execution, but
Yeah.
again,
Well-
the guard can be a little bit trigger happy around these parts.
Can't
One
say we
of the
know
previous-
Trigger happy.
One of the previous young lads used to work for us. They threw him in the cells for a week just for helping himself to a few copper off the tables. Just slightest thing deemed as disruptive, slightest slight against the speaker, and coming
It's
down
a
on
bit
people.
harsher than normal, especially for
So-
this part.
Sign of the times. People are worried. People are hungry. People's gold is running out. Guards can't be any better than us.
It's true, I suppose.
It's tough
Did
on
the
everyone.
patron that was barbecued by any chance ever come here?
Can't say. I saw him around town a couple of times. Fairly
Nothing
quiet.
suspicious? Okay.
Dressed a bit odd. He had these like red robes around him.
Oh?
Shaved head. He looks a bit more tan than people up this far north. Looked like
Was
he
he human?
travelled from, as far as I can tell, yeah. Looks like he travelled in some distances. Definitely wasn't dressed for the cold.
All right. Well, he must be from way down south then, but I wonder what he's doing here. I guess we'll
Your
find out
guess
some
is-
more information tomorrow.
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, we used to get all sorts in these parts. Travelers, tourists, adventuring types, people who wanted to see the mountains, and it's not been like that for months.
I assume if you just saw him walking around, you didn't really see where he went to any specific shops or anybody that he talked to. Just
Nah, just saw him walking around town for a couple of days. Just seemed to be going about his business. Like say, he stood out a bit. Just, he's,
I
not
wonder
dressed
what
like
it was
a
that he
local.
could have. Now, out of character, Rob, what I can't remember from last week. I didn't pull the book out. What in the world did they say he did that they burned him for?
You spoke to Imdra, the captain of the guard, who said that he'd been accused of turning on a mercantile group of locals and that they had wound up dead and that he was responsible.
So they
And that
They didn't.
they had not taken lightly to a bunch of locals being betrayed.
Yeah. I don't remember asking her if they knew that he actually did it or they just accused him out of the blue. I don't think I asked that of her.
Did not ask that.
Okay, no, perhaps something I'll be asking her when I see her. All right. I'm going to nod to the barkeep. What's your name?
Here you go. Name's Scythen.
Then I'm Celine. I live just across the road. I've seen you a couple of times, but I never said hi. Let me know if you see anything weird. Probably be here another day.
Here's your drink. He hands over the 2 bottles.
I'll hand him gold and a half. What extra what it's worth. It's trouble.
That's appreciated.
Yeah. Without even asking for
like-
the damn price. How much is it anyway? Like, here, just take a gold and a half.
He just kind of takes it. And
Is that enough?
I'll do it.
All right then.
Look, let's be having you. I need to get this place shut up and get myself home before the night turns any colder.
Of course.
You be
Quick
careful
question
out
before
there.
you kick me out. The lovely Dragonborn that works here.
Yeah.
When is she working next?
She's meant to be here today locking up. I got dragged in to lock up. Don't know where she is.
Did she just run out or?
That's a shame.
If you see her, you can let her know I'm pissed.
I will not break that news to her because, like, I want her to like me. But once I get to that point, I will say it was a bit of a dick move. She really shouldn't have done that because you seem like a pretty okay person. But thanks. So we're gonna go now.
Shove them underneath my cloak.
You want to rest up with injuries like that before the cold sets in.
Good. Just across the road. Have a good night.
And to yourselves. Stay
Night.
safe. And the door is shut and there's a latching behind it, and you are in the nighttime streets once more.
And then we take one step forward and are in Celine's apartment.
Turn to Adria. I was like, there's a really nice semi-dangerous, semi-not-so-dangerous spot on the roof if you want to sit down for a couple of minutes. Let the rest rest.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Meanwhile, back in Celine's house, there's a little bit of this, Gentle Steps does show a fairly proficient display of swordsmanship, continuing you've graceful and dexterous weaponry is not something you've seen him use particularly well, but yeah, he sort of the blade kind of swings around. After just towards the end of the session of you kind of just as you're about to go, oh, this feels pretty good, you feel the hilt and the handle start to, and you kind of you notice it's slowly been getting warmer in your hand. And then just kind of like this afterthought, you didn't kind of give it another swing. And as you do, there's a trail of these yellow runes that kind of light down the blade, and the whole blade in just a woof, just ignites. And you're for you kind of a second, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? And then as you swing around, you kind of realize that the large quillons and the large crossguard piece almost acts like a heat shield from your hand and your arm, and the blade itself is magically enchanted with flame.
General Steps is warm in here. Can you put the fire out?
I put it really close to Elkis. Does it burn any of his hair? Or is it arcane fire that only burns those I strike?
It feels warm, like Elkish. It's not comfortable. You're like, ah.
I was sleeping. What are you doing?
Just debugging you. It's fine.
Fancy sword.
I'll walk away.
It's you don't burn him as such, but it's definitely warm, and it comes across as magical or otherwise. It's fire.
Wow, that's fancy.
For your note, it is a flaming long sword, and once per short rest, the blade can be ignited for 3 rounds to do an additional 1d4 fire damage.
Cool.
And after you've kind of had this blade out and it's lit after you've tormented Elkis and you kind of swing it around, the blade does subside and the runes do dull.
Cool. Is it obvious where Celine's room is?
Depends how investigative you want to be.
I'm looking.
It seems
literally just that.
I don't know, Celine, how obvious is your house?
I mean, it's cozy. Like it's meant to be like just full of furs and
Like
fluff all over the place. So it's easy enough to find the room. She does keep stuff hidden around that you have to probably like look for, but she's ready for somebody to like jump up in there at any given time as soon as she's a mercenary.
You can find the room.
I can find the room. That was a long yes. Cool.
Story time, kids. That's
Narrative.
Yes.
Strap in,
Fillers.
kids. We're gonna get tedious.
Gentle Steps pauses at the door.
It's gravy time. Looks inquisitively out the window, stroking his beard majestically. Thinks to himself, "Those polar bears back in Targus."
They're eyeballing me.
Alive.
So I'll get to Celine's room. I keep looking at the 2 screens and you've all got your real names. So I'm like, I get to Andrew's room.
It gets me every time. It gets me every time.
Get to
Well,
Celine's
mine
room.
is Rail.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Get to Celine's room. I'll just look around. And I'll just toss the sword on her bed first.
And so it's like,
The sword,
Don't
not me.
cinch the
I just swan dive. Before I hit the furs, I'm naked.
you the blade kind of sinks in and kind of is laid to rest.
And then I'll go sleep
The
somewhere.
bed
near
sheets
Loke.
ignite and the whole building burns down.
Ah, shit.
They get back, we're just standing outside of a burning
Like-
building.
Like,
So-
what happened?
You've gone
Why?
half an hour.
And then I'll
No, the blade is laid on the bed.
and then I'll go chill with Elkis and Vale wherever they slept.
We're probably playing like rock, paper, scissors or something, like in the living room, sat opposite each other.
I'll lay down
I'm
next
playing
to
it, but I'm doing different answer.
And I'm still winning.
Cannon, it goes, it stands.
Yeah, I'm asleep now. Well, I was until I got woken by a sword.
Down
You're like, you wake up and you're like, I'm on fire. What are you doing?
Hold it really close to his nose till he
Wait,
wakes
does it
up.
burn? Doesn't it burn? Burn?
It's warm.
No, but it's sharp as
Okay.
fuck, you bastard.
So,
It'll cauterize the wound as you stab them. That's quite cool.
is
Yeah, that's
anyone
true.
doing anything other than settling down for a long rest?
No.
I will, before I go to sleep, I will recite my oaths to myself. And then
Are
have a nap.
recited. Renewed vigor and vengeance in your mind.
I
Go.
will go and go on a little vision quest on the roof.
Vision quest. It's a short vision quest if you go
Side
into a roof.
quests.
I don't know.
I mean, I am on the top floor, so like just kind of open up a
What are
latch
you
outside.
Doing, what are you doing during this, Celine? Are you
I'm
up
going
to-
with her. That's because I said, yeah, we're
Oh,
gonna go on the roof and sit up there because I wanted to see a few things actually as well.
So you guys make your way up to the roof. It is like snowbanked. There are kind of slight angles. A few moments it's like, oh, this is a little bit sketchy. But you do find a little perch and a place to kind of overlook the streets and kind of see the
Got my
lanterns.
little spot up there.
The lanterns kind of, you kind of look straight down one of the rows and that's kind of like narrow down. It's these little, quite a nice, almost like a visual illusion with these little flickering lights that disappearing down the far end.
Can we still see like vaguely any kind of leftover smoldering smoke from the burning body? Or...
Not in this dark. Like, may I roll a perception check?
$17.
You don't. If there is any kind of leftover kind of whispers of smoke, they're hidden against the night sky.
I'll just kind of look around and check to see if there's less lights than there normally is. It's been a nighttime because of the town kind of is. It's usually a little more well lit, but what do I see around? Is it darker than it normally is?
Just seems like a fairly pleasant night. The sky is jet black. The streets kind of fade in and out. These little patches of lantern light from the whale oil lanterns that kind of spaced every few feet down the roads. A few of them have burnt out or blown out, and the last few are kind of battling against the coals. But you got these little like
I'm gonna plop down next to Adrian, just take out the flask. Just give it to her. I think we should end the day right.
Yeah. I take the lid off, take a good old glug, and
Take
hand it
mine
back
as
to
well.
Celine.
No, I have my own. This one's for
Ah,
you.
Sharing is caring.
I'll
though.
take the second one out of the other side. Wrap myself back up, put my hood up. How you feeling after grabbing that thing?
Actually, okay. I'm not cold
Did you see anything?
anymore.
Really?
Yeah, like Well,
How
like,
so?
There's cold. I just don't care.
But you're
It's
alive.
nice.
You're not undead like the creepy undead dude. But
No.
there's nothing you feel that's off, that's wrong.
Nothing more wrong than usual.
Now, off to the side, Celine wouldn't know much about Adri's spec and everything, like, you know, what they can and can't do. So she's just asking questions out of the blue. Like what did you do with it, with the crystal?
I just made sure that that essence was safe and that no one else could use it for the wrong things.
Makes sense. Well, it's in good hands. You think it'll have any kind of power for anything else aside from immunity, snow, and ice?
Possibly.
Wait. Which means that if I get stuck in an avalanche again, you're coming to my rescue. I can hold my breath a while, but freeze.
Yeah, I'll do that for you. And I take another glug out of the flask.
Take the
And
flask
just
to her and
Yeah,
give it to her to cheers.
little chink. Just kind of stare at the landscape.
Listen, if you start feeling odd, if the thing starts doing anything to you, would you let us know? Would you not hide it from us?
I'll try. I can't
Try.
guarantee anything because I might not know there's something wrong until it's wrong. But I'll at least let you know.
All right. As long as you're okay.
I just have a lot of unanswered questions. And
Like what?
questions I don't know if I can ever get the answer to. It's like I know that there is this like city out there that's long lost and forgotten. No one even thinks that it's real. But
I
know
kind of
it's
do.
there.
I know from the story from my elders. I think something is there. I just don't know where. Even all my travels around, all over Icewind Dale, even before this whole mess, I don't recall anything, but I've heard the stories I tell you as a kid when you're little. And that's over 100 years of stories that I've heard and not seen this place, but it's starting to get a bit weird.
Have you heard any stories about like an ice wall? And I don't just mean like a little ice wall sort of thing that the kids will make with snow. Like, I mean like essentially like a fortress of a wall that just spans the length as far as the eye can see.
I've been too far gone for far too long from my, she's hesitant to say family, or my previous group. It's been too many years, so I've not really traveled around too much since the cold hit. I've been in this town for quite a while. I've not heard of it.
I'll ask Vale tomorrow. She'll know. As she usually knows, you know, the areas.
Probably.
But
I only ever go from town to town too much. Same path, same directions. And everything that I explored beforehand was before the freeze, so I wouldn't know.
it's just...
I'm willing to look, though.
Thanks.
Whatever involves more towns, more booze, more fun, and more reasons to try out that lovely new sword that our gentle giant has gotten.
I don't think you're going to be getting your hands on that sword as
Try.
As Adri takes another big old gulp of whiskey.
Celine's thinking in her head, like, yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Little does she know that there's a sword in her bed. All right.
I just don't know if I'm ever going to get my questions answered. Because
What are you asking, though? And who are you asking? Is this something that you're asking for quite a while? Or I know very little of magic and very little of your kind when it comes to your practices. So I would know about the questions. So what is it that you're asking? And who do you need to ask specifically?
I'm trying to ask my patron where it is that we need to go and if we're on the right path. And I can't figure out what they're trying to tell me. It doesn't make sense. They're not giving me a place to go or something to aim for. They're just showing me pictures of crowds of people and frozen landscapes, and I don't know if you can tell, but we're kind of surrounded by those, and I'm just frustrated because I know it probably makes sense. I just feel like I'm not smart enough to understand. And I
Pretty
don't
sure you
wanna-
are, but you might be maybe asking the wrong questions. Rob, hold on a second. Does Celine know anything about patrons and what she's talking about in regards to that, or no?
Make
I think
is religion even a skill check? I've played so many systems. Is religion a skill check in D&D?
Yes, it is.
Jesus
Yes,
Christ.
it is.
I've been
And I have a
looking at a lot of
minus
rule books
one
this
in
week.
it. Why would you do that to me?
You're asking about religion?
Is
So
it
you
a
can
religion,
roll.
though?
It's a deity.
It's a
I know,
cult.
but
Cult.
could it be Arcana? No, it's
You
not.
sure it's
Arcana.
not a
Nope.
strength check?
Nature? Investigation?
It's
It's a
mental
religion.
dex-
Definitely not.
Religion.
Yeah,
Mental
it's
It's
religion.
religion,
dexterity.
yeah. Religion check. Oh, okay. With a minus one of 17. I love
That's-
these dice.
Kinda
You are aware
Fair.
of your tribal history or background, people you travel with tend to be more superstitious than most. They don't tend to be particularly deity following, more so following
Stories
a
and
set of
stuff.
like very story, like very like they all follow different animal aspects, which they see as like embodiment of almost like a set of morals and ideals they should aim for. Whether that's kind of the ferocity or resilience or inquisitive nature of whatever tribe they're from, based on whatever animal that tribe's associated with. You are aware, and in your past, there was a large element, like a division between the tribes. Those who saw Auril and the divine as something to be fearful of and something to be evasive of and be concerned about, and a few who looked to revere and saw it as a potential source of betterment and a source of power and a way for them to be able to leverage that to conquest. And a few tribes that you're aware of had infighting. Tribes have come to blows between each other over that division in whether or not the Frost Maiden should be revered as a deity and something that should be appeased or something that should be fought.
All right, so I wouldn't know, so let's turn back to her. Can I ask, what is this patron you speak of?
Sorry, just to interject, the only other bit of religion you're aware of is you're aware of, since you've moved into the 10 Towns area, you were originally surprised by the lack of, there's not a lot of religious following. A lot of people have either given up their faith or weren't particularly deity-fearing people to begin with. There is a small group of people that still believe in the deity of light and sun, and there is a small temple to the Dawnfather in Brinchundar. Other than that, that's all she wrote on the religion stuff that you know of.
Yep.
Sorry, continue.
Is that an entity?
She's, you know, a god, I guess.
Oh. That's awfully mighty.
Now I think about it, I kind of feel like it was a mistake.
What was a mistake?
Accepting the terms and conditions, shall we say.
Did you sign the iTunes agreement without reading the T's and C's?
Shut up!
So you're bound to her.
Yeah, it's pretty much how this works. Yeah.
Is that where your magic comes from?
Yeah.
Makes sense then.
I was average. and
Come on now.
you know,
Average
shit
is
went
fine.
down.
Flips here. We can all be
Right?
brilliant average. But
Shit went
magic's
down.
fun.
I got offered something I felt like I didn't want to refuse because it sounded great, and maybe I got cheated.
Mm.
But
How
I'm
long have
stuck
you
with
had
it
this
now.
for?
A long enough time to resent it.
Mm. Well, I'm sorry for that. But I'm not sure what you can do about it at this point. Unless you give up your magic entirely.
I could
Which I
stop
did not
using it,
suggest.
but yeah,
Proficient in
no.
a dagger, you'd be fine.
Proficient in a lot, but I would rather not get stabbed, and I know I'm all right with magic, so that's something I'm probably gonna keep using. Because what's the point of having it and not using it?
Well, as long as she's not harming you intentionally, or harming any of us, I suppose. I've not
Well,
noticed anything.
She's not done anything yet, but
Hmm.
it's a matter of time before I step out of line and she decides she's gonna tell me off, I guess.
Sounds like an overbearing parent, or even worse, a grandma.
Yeah. It really is.
The big magical wooden spoon just chasing after you when you step out of line. I think I still have marks somewhere on me. Thankfully, I can heal fast.
Yeah, something like a wooden spoon of, I don't know, like death. Or being
Magical
smoked,
wooden
I don't
spoons.
know. I don't want to get on the wrong side, but
Is that stopping you from achieving what you're supposed to? Because you don't want to get on the wrong side.
maybe I'm just not using things right. Maybe I could be better, and actually this is a fantastic thing. But then another part of me is worried that actually she's gonna ask me for something in return that I'm not gonna want to do, and I think that's a thing that terrifies me most.
Mm.
But anyway, let's not talk about this as Adri kind of sniffles, takes a few gulps of whiskey at this point.
They're just nod and
And
smile.
go, right, I think
All right.
it's I think we'll I'm gonna go grab some shut eye and you know
Time to
sleep, I
turn in.
guess. Yeah.
A bit of rest. Change. Sew up some of these pieces of cloth and armor tomorrow. And we're up early. Going to interrogate the wench. Get some questions out of her.
Yeah.
Let's head down.
Thanks for this. I recork the bottle, hand it back to Celine.
No, you hold on to it. I have a few more empty ones somewhere in a sack.
Like 2/3 empty at this point.
Hey, it's the thought that counts.
There's enough left to be worth something left, but enough missing to be like, hang on a minute.
Nah.
I have like
This is
various
not the good end of a
flasks
bargain.
around the flat that she can just grab and take, and they're all kind of made to fit nicely into her cloak anyway. So
For
You hold on to
me?
that.
Thanks.
we'll head down. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sit down.
I'd find like a chair, or like an armchair or something, and just kind of curl up in it. And
There's furs all over the place. What are you doing in a chair? Just up on the
Yeah.
floor. There's blankets and everything. There's more than enough.
I'm good. The chair's comfy.
Do you
I
want
know
to take the
nothing's
bed?
gonna come from behind me, so it's fine.
It doesn't seem like anybody's in the bed. Take that if you'd like.
No, that's kind of yours.
Doesn't matter.
I just
The
again,
giant didn't take it. Just go grab it.
I sit in the armchair, curl up, throw a blanket over me, and just say, "Good night. Thanks for tonight, by the way. It was
Always.
nice to talk to someone."
Always. Keep going.
And I sleep.
Okay.
Celine's gonna
You-
waltz towards the bedroom just to plop her cloak down and everything. She'll
Fine,
crack
spittle
open the
steps like that.
door.
Yeah, you open the door to your room. You do notice the.
Naked Goliath on your bed.
You don't notice a naked Goliath on the bed. You notice the dark and red blade that has been left on your bed.
That's what I call
Her
it.
eyes just go like, She'll slowly just kind of, in her elfish, sneakily way, just walk up to it. smile down at the blade.
Stop it.
And kind of sniff. I noticed that it smelled a little bit of brimstone and stuff, and it's kind of weird, but nothing's on fire. And she'll look down at the blade and just kind of...
It does have that, like, kind of...
She'll go to run her fingers just on the top of the blade. It smells weird.
Yeah, you got, like, kind of, like...
Burnt goblin.
Almost acrid smell. The... Almost like a blacksmith, like a mixture of kind of... Like that weird smell hot metal gives off.
Yeah. So it's just like, what in the hell? Nothing's on fire, and
That's what our last goal.
she's
There's
just
a
gonna
bit
run
of
her
green
hands at the
skin
blade.
Stuck to it.
The blade warm when she runs her fingers over it?
It's not... It's a little bit. Not so it's like, ooh, that's uncomfortable. It's kind of like that... It's warmer than the temperature outside, but it's kind of... It's very subtle warmth to it.
Strange. Just look at the blade and have second thoughts of even coming near it. But she'll just kind of look on the blanket that it's on and just grab another one off. Put her cloak down on the floor, just grab the pillow. And just lay down on the floor. Just rest for a little bit.
Okay.
Doesn't want to change or anything right now.
And eventually the night does take you all. You all do find yourselves under the effects of your long rest.
Woo!
And we will take our break there.
And we're level 5.
You are not in. You've only been level
4, yeah.
Not even.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're
Level
level
17.
You've been level 3 for one encounter.
That was a big encounter. I killed my nemesis.
Confirm. Yes.
Right, so break time, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Right, we'll see
Thank you very
all.
much, guys. In the thank you very much, chat, for your comments so
Thanks,
far.
guys, in the chat.
We'll be back in 5-10 minutes. We're going to go get our tea, and I'm going to go.
Thanks,
We'll be back
everyone.
soon.
His head in with a shovel.
See you in 10 minutes.
Spoony's back. Spoony's back.
BRB.
Bye, everyone.
Burb.
Verb.
Online. Well, I've joined a new raid team.
Go. You're on.
Hello, we are back with Rime of the Frost. We're back, Rime of the Frost Maiden, Icewind Dale, Secrets Worth Dying For, episode 11 of our going campaign. So we are about 30, 33, 34 hours in, and no one's dead yet. So good job, guys. Part 2 of tonight's session. If you missed the first half, we'll have a quick 10-second recap. And if you want to catch up on any previous episodes, you can find us, the links below, at YouTube, Heavyweight Gaming. So, the party, after battling a enchanted, empowered entity who's responsible for a bunch of killings in the area, they retired to East Haven and had a little bit heart-to-heart, recovered from their wounds, looted and investigated their findings, and are getting some well-earned sleep.
Not
a
in
few
that
hours.
specific order.
Not in that specific order. And are resting in Celine's abode, a resident of East Haven herself. And they arise bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. That's a lie. You're all battered. You're probably achy, and you've had about 4 hours sleep. You're not going
The
to be
sword had the best
Still
rest.
have a bushy tail, though. I would
You
like
do
to.
have a, yeah, you default bushy-tailed. The rest of you, not so
there-
much.
Is anyone else looking particularly bright-eyed?
Celine's probably not too... Celine's probably not too bad, being half elven, and Dowdry for that matter. You guys don't need as long, do
Queen's
you?
full elven. The other
Okay,
one
it
is
was-
half
It was,
elven.
it was a
The
joke.
other
It was
one.
a joke about blue eyes. It was a joke.
Well, don't
Elkis
be,
is now
right?
looking around at everyone, seeing if any of them have blue eyes in the
Does
morning.
my own DM not know what I am?
I have.
How does no one know what I am? I am
Damn
also
it.
full elf.
Yes.
General
both
Steps has,
elves?
Yes.
very, very blue eyes.
Been a while. Right. Anyway, the morning is here.
Has done for 11
It is.
sessions.
It is East Haven. You're in East Haven. It is the morning. You can hear a little bit of, the usual noises of the town outside. People are chatting around. People are going about their business, and the day is yours.
Not think that was a pencil in your mouth, then, Tony.
I
I looked at it like, really?
Elkis is a girl.
Look like it's past 9 p.m. It's almost 10. It's fine. This is acceptable. Just roll with it, okay?
So before we get
Don't
done for
roll it.
drugs on,
It is a pencil. Pencil.
Good.
I was a
not
paintbrush. Right. What are you doing?
I don't know anymore. I'm wondering why that sword is taking the most comfortable bed in the whole house. I'll get up, just flop over, look down at the giant. Be like, why does the sword smell like death and brimstone
Burnt goblin.
and goblin?
Singed
Why does
goblin.
a sword smell like singed goblin?
Why is that such a unique yet recognizable scent?
what do you mean?
What did you do?
Do to what?
And I'll poke over at Elkis just to see if they're alive. Like,
I'm alive.
all right.
Morning.
Alright.
Burn that
I-
from his face.
I think Gentle Steps tried to give me a tattoo or a brand.
Little sword marks, just pointy.
Brand's the word,
pointy.
probably.
I don't want to know. I'm going to just wonder why the sword got better rest than all of us.
You could have moved it. Like,
I didn't feel like it. I like the floor as well. It's wooden. It's warm.
I'm
it's
sure it was
nice.
just
I,
there
uh,
so that you'd find it.
I fell asleep with it next to me.
Are you wearing the bed?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm laid on the
Wait,
floor.
you-
You're looking down at me.
Yeah. Wait.
Right,
What?
Celine.
Yeah. Like, what did I just miss? What do you mean you fell asleep next to the sword? The
was-
sword's in the bed.
It was next to me when I went to sleep.
All right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm not that dumb.
Did you get in bed
Flip her
with the
hair
sword?
back. No.
Where did you sleep?
I stole a pillow from it and I slept on the freaking.
And the
floor.
sword took the bed, yes?
Yes, it did.
Then yes, you are that dumb.
Is that a test? That's so cruel.
You open the doors, I'll go through them. Oh, that's all I can say. I get
The sword looks
so staring down at me.
like just.
I go.
Why?
Elkis is stood above Gentle Steps, feeling tall.
I shall go get the sword and bring it out to Celine. Like, here, it's fine. And I'll spin it around in front of Celine and then offer her the handle.
I'll take it and just see the weight and kind of just flop down because it's nearly her height, but still she has the strength. But just push
I-
back, like
I really think I can get the
Nice.
hang of that with my Warhammer.
Shut up. So, Elkis, just do some more spinning with the hammer.
she'll hand the sword back, and
I'll stand back.
it's a hefty weight. Good find.
I'll try it outside. I won't do it indoors.
You give it back?
Hmm?
Did you say you give it back and say it's a hefty
Yeah.
bit?
Yeah, I can handle the weight. It's just I can't spin it around in this tiny, like, I mean, it's not a tiny room, but I can't spin it around in here right now. I want
I
to take
don't
it for
think
like a
Gentle
ride
Steps is
outside.
giving you it to spin.
Not in here, outside I can.
I don't think he wants you to spin it.
Just spin
I
it
think
in
it's
here. I'm spinning it all around me. I'm like, it's easy.
If there's that much room in my place, fantastic. I have some wealth then to afford it.
Just
I
skill.
suppose because I'm in the roof and everything, it is kind of high like that, right?
It's just practice.
I will take
room,
the
so-
sword. I will take the sword. I will take it in
And then
probably
I-
both hands and just.
Celine, I'm not
times.
the brightest elf
Yeah,
that
it's-
ever lived, but I think that's a gift.
It is balanced. It just swing around. It feels really well made, and yeah, the weight feels good.
I position Sebastian and throw myself on Sebastian face first.
Wait, you're not taking the sword?
Does it look like a great axe?
A what?
Sebastian gets jealous.
You're giving me the sword.
Yes, you fight with
Seriously?
swords. You fight with swords, Celine. 2 of them, in fact.
So just like
Long
bristle
swords
up
can be
happily.
used. Some long swords can be used one-handed as well. You can choose to be one-handed with it or two-handed with it.
Long short.
Long
Thank
shot.
you.
Swords.
I don't know what to say. It's been quite a long time since anybody's really given me anything like this.
I'll give you more stuff if you want.
Ever, actually.
Adri stops herself from saying something very inappropriate.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one.
Do you want anything in return?
That's
Oh,
even
here we
worse.
Nothing like that.
No,
Buy you a few pints.
I don't drink.
Pints
I'll
of
buy you
vodka.
some hot
Thanks
cocoa.
for water.
Let's go buy him a breakfast pie.
I don't know. I'll go slaughter you a nice lamb and roast it up in a spit, whatever you want.
On the
I'm
subject
okay
of
on the spit
buying
roast,
people
but,
drinks and stuff, do we all get a share in our loot?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, did anyone just hear that in the background of "Have you seen that goblin"?
I heard something in one ear and then in one to the other, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear people talking.
They're outside.
Yeah.
There's people outside.
Oh, people are sorry.
They're looking for me.
See that goblin.
Elkis goes running outside.
Just hide the
What?
goblin inside my cape. If you ever need to hide, I'll just.
I'll get dressed and get ready for whatever the day brings.
Wait,
I was
Like,
just supposed to
this
think
whole
they were gonna.
Why, you sleep clothed?
yes,
Well,
I'm around perfect strangers. I ain't getting my titties out for you.
okay.
We clip that.
Well, if anybody needs any change of clothes,
No
if
clothes.
anybody needs any change of clothes, there's stuff in the closet of all different shapes and sizes. I just kind of hoard. Celine's just gonna change her shirt because it's
You've
torn
got
somewhere
something
underneath
that
her
will
armor.
fit Elkis and will fit Gentle Steps in your closet.
I hope
Maybe
so,
not
but
that
not
much.
in a flirty way. I'll be like, what?
Elkis,
the
yeah, but not gentle steps. Sorry.
Elkis, yeah, I could probably find some like children's clothes, as to which I do question why you have children's clothes. That's
No,
your
I
prerogative.
just-
can
he
fit
just-
it on
he just puts
Elkis
like
like
a
a dress.
He
Why
just
don't
puts
we
a
all just
shirt and
wear
a
our
belt
own
on here.
clothes? What's
That's
wrong
like-
with
that's a
our
shout.
own clothes?
Dirty and
that we're
gross.
wearing?
When was the last time you washed?
Does anyone know?
I have fur. I don't actually.
Does anyone
Hey.
aware that
That's
Elkis
true.
has left the building? Elkis has left the building.
I look around for a second. I'm like, oh,
Oh, they're gone.
yeah.
All right then. Well, I think Elkis knows that we need to go and see the lovely lady and then have her interrogate us interrogate her. But first,
And as information for you guys that weren't there, when we left the bar, so did the Dragonborn bar lady, bar wench.
oh yeah.
She
Aye.
just
You mean babe?
disappeared. Yeah, babe.
Yes.
Babe.
I completely
left.
forgot about her.
I didn't.
Not a moment has gone by where Gentle Steps hasn't thought about it.
Elkis is outside looking for the person that shouted, "Where is that goblin?"
There's a few people who kind of look
Where's
over
the
to you and just
goblin?
kind of give you a bit of a wide berth, but they go about your business.
Shiny golden goblin.
They look a little bit confused, like, what the
Me,
I'm,
I'm the
carry on.
goblin.
I'm going to go back inside. I swear I heard someone shouting me, but there doesn't seem to be anyone there. I better get dressed too. Elkis is stood in a crop top and small pants.
I
Why
am-
am I giving you a wide berth?
Yes.
And I'm going to start putting my levers and stuff back on, my furs.
How's that make
Elkis,
it
I have a
less kinky?
shirt that can fit. It'll be a little long down to your knees, but
Can I use it as a blindfold, Celine? But give me the sword back.
I said Elkis, not you. You cannot fit into anything. You could probably wrap something around your finger and that's it.
Yeah, sure. I'll take all my stuff back up, strip down to my crop top and my pants. And
I'll give
put the
Elkis
big-
some kind of like better fitted shirt like that.
Yeah.
Get down to their knees almost. So, like you can always tear off the bottom and
They
make the
get a
sleeve
tie
shorter
as
with a
well,
knife.
like a blazer.
Very fancy, preparing them for the meeting we're about to go into.
This is in. These are the best clothes I've ever worn. I made all my stuff.
We're all gonna die.
I wonder how long we can roleplay getting dressed. Personally.
before Rob actually loses the will to live.
Oh no, it's
Poor
gone.
Rob
Don't
just
worry.
starts rolling dice in the background.
We've gone past that. We've gone past that obstacle.
He died an hour ago. He's just.
I lost the will to live
NPCs
13
are
years
floating.
ago. You guys are just
We
late.
wanted more RP. We are
Y'all are
giving
late.
you
With
RP.
house money.
You
All right,
Also,
Celine's
now-
just gonna change her
dressed-
shirt because her armor is messed up. She's just gonna change, and that's it. Wait for everybody else to.
Oops.
Dale is dressed, just so we're all
Oh.
describing how clothed we are.
Before this descends into another level of nonsense, other
It's
than getting
gravy
dressed,
time.
is there anything else you guys? What's the plan for the day? What are you guys going to be?
So what we're doing today, guys? Are we hunting down the?
Same thing we do every day, Lucas.
Trying to take
Hey,
over the
take over the
world.
I'm
Pinky
not
has
one for
more
taking
bit.
over the world.
We have
Does
to
anyone
go
else
meet.
think it's a bit weird that the Dragonborn left shortly after we did?
That's
Was
exactly
she
why we're
looking-
gonna go and try and find her.
Weird
Emily.
vibes about that?
Was she
Hella
looking?
weird vibes.
Was she looking for gentle steps?
Why?
They
I mean,
kind
she
of
might
hit
have
off.
been love struck chasing us, but I don't remember her following us. It's kind of
I-
those like learnt some information, gotta go tell someone situations.
Yeah, no, I've got to tell you something. And Adri kind of tries to figure out how exactly she's going to explain this.
I'm just gonna twirl a dagger around in my fingers.
We're going to find out how you do live.
So, Dragonborn has a blue tongue.
And I have a pink tongue. Look,
I also have a blue tongue, and Adri sticks out her tongue, and it shows that it is like.
I grab it.
Kind of.
So I slap his hand.
Doesn't it?
Just start
why-
expecting the tongue.
Why is your blue tongue significant, Adri?
Well, the rest of you don't have blue tongue. Just to put that in perspective. Like,
That's fine.
Uh,
I just want to know why specifically they both might
Uh,
have blue tongues. Just staring expectantly for this.
You been kissing
Yeah.
the
I have-
Dragonborn?
I have green skin.
I have a mohawk.
My blue tongue is my binding mark to my patron.
You
Oh.
licked your patron.
Good.
That is such a weird map.
a blue, like the blue, like her having a blue tongue is like it's almost like frostbite in appearance. It doesn't look like it's decaying or rotting away. It just has this weird like frostbitey look to it, and
Like
You've seen-
like super bruised sort of thing. Like you know that.
you've
really
seen
deep blue.
you've seen the similar sort of look from people who've like died out in the snow, and especially as you two have been out in the mountain. No, most of you have been out mountaineering and things like that. It does strike you as unusual. It's not something that it's obvious now that you see it, but it does look out of place.
How exactly
So-
do
You
you?
saying she's bound?
How exactly do you sign your contracts with your patron? Is that with your tongue?
Biro.
Just licked a bit of paper.
Oh, you guys have been so innocent with that. I was waiting for something much worse. But okay.
Even though it's after 9 o'clock,
even that's a bit far.
we're just gonna move on.
10 o'clock it gets
We're
progressive.
gonna put a disclaimer in the beginning, so you know.
So, what else? Is there anything else that would make her?
Tongue
Are
blue,
you-
like my hair.
So, are you saying that she is connected to your patron as well?
It's
Or a
weird
patron.
It's weird that she has a blue tongue, like I have a blue tongue. Because how many Dragonborns do you know with blue tongues?
As many
I
as
only know
elves.
one dragonborn.
Is this something common for warlocks? When a warlock, like you said last night,
I don't
Next to the patron.
know.
Who is your
Um,
patron? Tumbleweed.
that's right. I didn't ask who actually or what your patron is. I just asked.
Tumbleweed would be a brilliant patron.
Would
Yes.
be, not gonna lie.
Subtle as ever.
Patron
yeah.
saint
Who is
of
your
awkward
patron?
silence.
So, yeah.
Can you put away your dagger first?
The fact that you've asked that question means it's a no.
She's the Frost Maiden.
Oh, good.
Wait, what?
As in rhyme off.
A poet.
Yeah.
Patron is Arl.
Is who?
Oriel.
Oriel.
Ariel?
I wish I could fly.
Break out in song now, guys. Come on, Disney.
Right up to the sky. Who's awful?
You know the one that people are like sacrificing people to because of the lottery and stuff.
Yeah, it's caused all the problems for me around my home village and around 10 towns in general, really.
Do you sacrifice people?
No.
So why are you just mentioning this now? That's a big thing to drop on a study.
You asked, and I felt comfortable enough to do it that I thought you weren't going to stab me.
It's fine. It's fine. We're not going to stab you, but
You've not killed
You're
anyone.
not, but I can't guarantee that
Speak
from
for
anyone
yourself.
else.
Sebastian!
I have not done anything wrong, and I kind of regret actually taking the patronage because at first I thought it was a good idea, but actually now I regret everything. But now I'm too scared to actually like say I don't want this anymore because she might smite me, and I don't want to die.
You want us to
it's
kill her?
fine. You won't die,
And so
but
now I want to get out of my contract and
Just tell her no.
let her just not kill me, kind of.
I've got bigger fish to fry. It's fine.
No, I don't trust in anything you cook, Elkis.
like down Elka's like, what in the world could you possibly have in everything that's bigger than this right now?
Well, the Frost
Aside from
Maiden,
yes.
the Frost Maiden herself needs a bit of a slap. Adri's obviously not the Frost Maiden.
No, but she is like
But
contractually
Connected
bound
to her.
There's-
I don't
Minions don't
like
matter.
it,
Minions don't matter.
bitch.
Well,
But it means that she gets her power from her.
Yeah, which
Which
she-
means that I could be a great
I've done
ally.
so wrong. I've done so wrong. Minions don't matter, bitch. Rip your eyeballs out.
Bitch, I matter!
up!
She owes her. Adri owes the Frost Maiden.
And I don't want to anymore.
and we
so
should use this to our favor.
Thank you.
How?
The
Yeah.
question is, how
She's
much
using whatever
does she
she's
know?
done.
So that Dragonborn could also be bound to the Frost Maiden and could have left as soon as we left to pass on lots of information that she might have gathered from us to people that we don't want to know that information.
And that's the reason why we kind of need to pretend to become friends with her, so that we can also talk her into not liking the Frost Maiden.
I'm pretty pally with her.
So,
Maybe.
Gentle steps
The
will
Dragon
use the
Ball-
power
the-
of seduction.
the Dragonborn lady could have poisoned us at any time. There was lots of drink while Gentle Steps was
But she
doing
had no
his thing.
reason to, and we ran out of the
Exactly.
bar before she could poison us, in all honesty.
Well, no, I had blood.
Maybe
to
she
drink and
didn't because you were there.
Me?
I don't think she noticed me.
Not me.
Depends.
So we need to find her. Is
How do you-
phase one.
Yeah.
How do you tell people you're part of the club? Do you just stick your tongue out at each other?
Hand
We don't
gestures,
talk about it.
Secret
Like Fight Club.
handshake.
gang signs.
Talk about Frost Club.
Talk about Frost.
First rule of Frost Club.
Club, we don't talk about frosting.
Well, personally, you've not Eldritch blasted me, and there's bigger fish out there. I
Yet.
really don't care.
Look,
Thank
we
you,
have
I
to
was
go
thinking
and
that, Mail.
see. We have to go see the town speaker first. We promised her that, and we need to pluck out information from her. We'll see what she knows about
Oh,
the
yeah.
Dragonborn.
Yeah,
After,
And we need to
Yeah.
go now because she sent them more.
And have
Well,
I
we need
showed you
breakfast.
anything to show that I am planning on betraying you guys? No.
I mean, you kept it to yourself. That
Well, yes,
It's
because I
understandable,
didn't
though.
for 11 sessions, Andrew.
And also, this is the first time you guys have asked.
Well, we
we've
didn't-
almost died
We
multiple
didn't care you had
times.
a blue tongue. There's no need to ask. I just
you
thought
never
it-
stuck your tongue out at me.
It was a bit weird that you cast magic on the bears. That was strange.
That was very strange.
That was
Okay.
strange, though.
I thought I was being big brain. It didn't work.
We need to go and see the town speaker, and then we need to
We do.
find that Dragonborn person because
Yes.
Her name
Uh,
is Babe.
Yeah,
And
babe.
then
We need to go and
take
find
out the
Babe.
Frost Maiden. Yes,
We-
let's do this.
We can't do anything to the Dragonborn lady. That would be against Gentle Steps' chances. We cannot do that. That's
if she
like-
knows what I think she knows, I am not saying I'm not going to do anything to her.
I'm
Like,
not saying
If
we
she
don't
knows
kill
that we
her.
know that she knows.
Gentle Steps' love life notwithstanding.
We could at least wait until Gentle Steps gets more relaxed and stuff.
I'm always relaxed.
That is true.
Tantra.
Can we go get breakfast?
if you want.
No, we're going to see the town
As
speaker.
long as we don't have to roleplay it, I'm fine with
We
it.
promised.
Things just got very stressful very quickly. Just gonna walk out.
Someone outside laughs.
So, what's the plan other than breakfast, which
No,
wouldn't be
town speaker. Fuck breakfast.
speaker.
Town speaker.
You hear me?
We have breakfast in
Yes.
downtown.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yep.
I did something to the mic. I don't know what it is. It's stuck.
You turn it
Okay.
off.
As we're walking along, I'm going to be sticking my tongue out, trying to see it.
Okay, you don't have a blue tongue. Stop it.
Are you sure?
You're not even there. You left.
I came back in to get dressed.
No, Vale.
Oh,
I'm at the town's hall.
You guys make your way, and eventually you do all arrive at the town hall. It's maybe about a 15-20 minute walk across East Haven. The town hall is fairly central. It's a very nice wooden stone building, like, very nice craftsmanship. It is one of the most impressive structures you've seen since your time's been here. Lots of ornateness to it. It seems like a lot of care has been done in this building, and it's quite a symbol of status and kind of the financial wealth and the standing that East Haven has amongst the other towns. And as you guys approach, you do see a number flanking either side of the door. Appears to be 2 members of the East Haven Militia Town Guard in kind of this it's like a steel grey. It's almost like a almost bluey grey kind of uniform. Kind of breastplates, both with sheathed swords, both kind of stood just flanking either side of the door, looking fairly disinterested and trying to keep themselves warm against the cold.
No, Luke.
I'm fine.
Stage
I'm
your-
cold.
State your business.
That building.
What is it you want?
Celine.
Here to see the town speaker. We have an appointment.
That.
Bear with me one moment. He kind of looks and kind of they share a bit of a glance between the two of them. Kind of give you a bit of a once over, and one of the militia disappears into the building. After a few minutes, the door is open once more, and the guard steps out, followed by Imdra, the half-elven commander of the town guard, the captain that you met the previous day.
During Bernie execution.
During Bernie execution.
going to stand a little bit taller.
Babe.
Indra?
Suppose you're here to speak with Darneth as agreed?
Yes.
She's on it.
Time is short and we don't have all day, so keep the pleasantries to a minimum.
Who did you
Any
say
inform-
shot?
Any information you have around these mages you spoke of, and any information you can glean on the issues surrounding the man we caught and executed, advise you to be forthwith with it, be open, be truthful. Don't keep things to yourself, and anything you think, be of use to us. If you'd like to
When he
follow me,
says- When he says open and truthful, I'm going to just look at Adri.
I'm just gonna
Let's
stay
take it.
silent because
I stick my tongue out there.
and you are led into the town hall, and the door is closed behind you. You travel. God, it's a long scrolling page. There it is. You you step in through the main door into kind of this big, large reception room, which has this big tiered wooden staircase that goes up to kind of an entrance hall. There's a few benches and a few seating areas. It just seems like this is a bit of a holding area and just kind of like an indoor porch, if you like. The chamber is decorated. There's oil paintings up on the walls, very ornate, very nice. They all depict like life in East Haven. There's a large painting of the town itself. There's a large 5-foot-long stuffed knucklehead trout in all its glory, mounted to a hardwood board. And at the base of it, there is a little wooden plaque and an engraving that says, "Big Nook, caught by the East Haven fishermen during the summer of 1479. And then there is, you are led up the stairs and through into a like
Space.
it's like an administrator's office. It's close to kind of like a secretary's room, but think medieval, ancient, medieval-esque. There's like a few rows of like wooden desks. There's paperwork and tombs and reams of paper that are stored, and there's shelvings that are just. It seems very well organized. It seems very well structured, and there's a young woman sat behind the desk who seems to be frantically writing out papers and organizing things and making preparations for the day's work. And there's a few chairs in there, and you can see a one of the fishermen kind of has his hat in his hands, and he's kind of sat looking fairly solemn in the chair and looks around. And after a few minutes, another similarly dressed gentleman leaves a door to your left and takes off and leaves and exits with the fisherman who was sat on the chair, and you're left just yourselves. And without looking up, Captain Indra kind of stands like to attention at the door that, and like the door that you came in. And without looking up from the scribbling, the young woman, it's like, "What's your appointment regarding?"
A lot of shit that's been happening, especially the burning of your current.
What name is? What's the name?
Gentle steps.
Celine.
The rest of you?
Dale.
Gentle steps. I lean in a bit closer for it.
You two at the back?
Adrien.
Elkis.
She jots names down in this kind of big, heavy, leather-bound book that takes up the majority of the left-hand side of the desk. Kind of closes it with a thud and slides it aside. Okay, very well. She nods over to Captain Indra, who then leads you through a series of doors. You go through into kind of this. It's an odd room. You go into it's the largest room so far you've been in, and there are these like wooden pillars that look like they supporting pillars. With a staircase, one leading upwards, one leading downwards, and then a couple of doors leading off towards the back of the structure. And in the building, there is these in the room there are these low burning lanterns that kind of cast this gentle glow across the room. And what takes you to notice is this tall black object in the center of the room. It looks, at first glance, it looks like a statue. Can you roll perception checks for me, please?
15.
Wow, that bounced out my tray.
15.
15.
Crappy throw.
20. Jeez, okay. Between you, you kind of all glance. It's hard to miss. It's like got this slight, like shiny, reflective surface that reflects this kind of orange candlelight. At first glance, it looks like a carved statue, but as you kind of walking past, you've been led. You notice it's actually the figurehead of a ship. Those of you who've been around the area would recognize kind of the angle and the position and the style of it. And it depicts like the likelihood of this winged creature, this kind of evil winged beast, standing about 8 feet from ground to ceiling, and kind of the wings arch back and pin back. It's quite and kind of leans forward, and you can imagine would look quite striking on the front of a ship. And you can see kind of the shards of wood that jot out the back that would be used to mount it. You are led continuing past, and you are led kind of around the edge of this room and into a door at the end, and you are led into an office where, again, more tapestries and printed landscapes decorate this room, and the kind of center is this big horseshoe style, very, very, very extravagant looking desk, surrounded by these high back wooden chairs, and there is a gentleman sat there. Bear with me a second. I'm going to juggle about 43,000
Which is why I didn't ask the question that I wanted to ask when I passed the statue. I'll wait patiently.
You can ask. What would you like to ask?
Yeah, since I'm from this town, does that statue represent any significance of a ship that I would know that's important or not? Peaceful.
Make a history check.
Ooh. 18 minus 1, 17.
There doesn't appear, at least around the lakes and the areas around the towns, there's no vessels that would be large enough to accommodate something like
Before,
that.
in the past, when I moved into the town.
You're aware
years ago.
of an open water. There's open water to the north. There is definitely a coastal region out to the very distant north. There is a sea, the Sea of Moving Ice, which is renowned for being almost impassably treacherous, and there has not been any reports of any vessels passing through the sea in recent living memory. There's certainly nothing kind of, there's no significance, there's no
Nothing in my memory.
memory,
Okay.
other than the fact that ships of that scale in recent memory are very, very, very rare, if at all. You've certainly not experienced any. And you do see this gentleman. He's a kind of a graying, kind of scruff, like 5 o'clock shadow style, well-kept human, and he's sat at his desk. He's sort of leaned back in this chair, and he's just closes a journal and puts it to the side. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
A nod.
If I'm to be informed correctly, you may have some information regarding the recent transgressions of the mage that we found.
You might. As long as you equally make sure to not withhold anything back. Otherwise, this is a one-way street.
Okay, this warm smile kind of creases the side of his face. And
Celine's poker face is usually just...
And he, please make yourselves comfortable, and he gestures to the chairs. And Imdra, that'll do. If you go back to your business, and I'll call for you if needed. And for a split second, it's almost like she's about to protest, but there's kind of a knowing look, a sternness that comes over his face, and she kind of nods and leaves, and the door shuts behind her. And you are in the office. There's a fire that is in its early stages of kind of kindling. It's not full roaring, but it does add a nice little bit of coziness to the room. And you're all offered chairs.
Have a seat.
Do you okay?
Nope.
Flop down.
I'll stand behind
Slightly in front.
Celine.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay standing up.
So
Have a seat. Cross my legs over and just...
I'm Speaker Whalen. I'm Speaker of East Haven now for coming up to 12 years, and
I know.
we've had more problems in the last 3 months than we've had in those 12 years. And as it happens, forgive my curiosity, a group such as yourselves stumble into town claiming to know information around mages and artifacts and relic hunters in the dark. Around the same time, we happen to have caught one ourselves, and that raises eyebrows, certainly, and doubts with some of the guardsmen. But
Sorry,
for myself,
Rob, can
it's
you repeat that? A group of what? What did you say? A
mages,
group
relic hunters.
of... Okay, I thought you called them something else. I'm like, seashells? What?
A group of seashells.
Didn't hear you.
And
This is how we die.
Carry on.
the guardsmen are...
Shell.
Allergic to fish.
You are a conch.
That's
The guards render themselves suspicious. I mean, ultimately, I guess it is their lives on the line with these things, so they probably have a right to be suspicious in their own way. Myself, I'd prefer curiosity and knowledge, information, and forthrightness. Just staying one step ahead of the dangers is what's kept this town safe and what's kept me alive during these harsh times, and we continue to do so.
So do you mind me asking then, since you're clearly saying that you prefer such outward openness, did the person who was burned get any kind of trial?
Of course, we don't just go around executing people on a whim. We may be
Not what it sounded
have
like
I
out
re-
there, but good to know. And what did
we
you
may have
find out?
interesting history and customs of this town, but we're still law-abiding people, and we still stick to due process. And
Did they actually confess?
yeah, I mean, we caught him. He was apprehended by the guards and sent to Revel's End, probably pushing 10 days ago now, and the prison has its uses, and they questioned and interrogated the man in general. We understand him to be known as Zazan, a red wizard of Thay, traveling in from the far southerly regions, and apparently he represents the Arcane Brotherhood. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Brotherhood. It doesn't normally reach this far north. And Zazan and his kin seem to think that might makes right, and politics and governorship can be those who wield the most power. Pursue it relentlessly.
Are you sure your prisoner guards didn't just torture him to the point of confession where he just wanted to end?
I do not say, and I would not wish to say.
But
What
you
goes
don't know.
on. Never visited the prison myself.
So he could have slaughtered an innocent man and we wouldn't know. I mean, there's no
Hey,
need to... You can
I trust-
deny, you can...
I trust my guards. I trust that the information they provided was accurate. The crimes leveled against Azan were compelling. He didn't seem to argue the case, and seemed not to take any remorse in his actions. He took on the contract of local men, sellswords, mercenaries, trackers, not unlike yourselves. For what purpose, we're not sure, but as we understand it, these men were taken in good faith, paid handsomely, and they set out. When they returned, a few days later, they all wind up dead, with wounds not made by natural causes.
They died
Traces
when
of-
they returned back into town.
On the outskirts, yes. They, it seems that they are either returning from their expedition, and Dazan dealt with them and removed them from the equation, and was looking to pack up and continue his journey. And we found the bodies. We traced them back to his contract and his place of residence, where he was staying in the taverns, and we apprehended him while he was packing and seemingly fleeing. Now, there wasn't much of a struggle. It seems we caught him off guard, and his hands were bound and he's gagged to prevent any more of a trickery. But as I understand it, he's skilled in the arts that he studied, as are a lot of the Brotherhood.
So,
As we
basically,
understood
what
it,
the conclusion is that whoever he sent out found out information that he didn't want anybody to know about except for himself. Could it be that they threatened him and he just defended himself and killed them? From what they found.
That is a possibility. It seems he didn't have no remorse in his actions. He clearly didn't claim self-defense, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, if he knew something that severe or that important to him, he'd probably rather take it to the grave and tell any of you.
It may seem that is the case, but that regard, a town such as this that balances on a knife edge with its criminal past, the law is absolute. We must take a stand to those who put our citizenship at risk. Those outsiders that put the local sellswords and people trying to make a living to death, they meet the consequences of their actions.
This is different. This is odd, and you should have known better and kept the man alive and interrogated him further.
Look,
Whichever
it's
means you know to find out why you did this.
I may be the speaker of the town, but that doesn't mean I have absolute power of the people. People have an expectation of consequence when these things are made public. The town's guard and the taverns have their tales to tell, and word travels
Then
quickly.
lie to them and lock him up somewhere deep down in that dungeon, and nobody knows. Nobody's lies.
There is not much place darker or deeper than Revel's End, but it would
now
seem.
we're stuck. Now we don't know anything because the only source of information, it's two sources of information are gone.
It appears
Anything
the
else that's been
Brotherhood.
going around?
I've done our own investigation, as I'm sure you would expect, and we've had word in the past around Neverwinter and places on the coast of Brotherhood's activity, and it was deemed then it wouldn't be a threat this far north, and it appears the majority of them, through infighting and chasing each other's power, led themselves to mutual destruction, and there wasn't a seat of power for them much in the southern lands as it is. So to find evidence of their activity this far north is somewhat worrying.
Somewhat's
I'll
an
give you that.
understatement.
They seem to,
Considering what
from
we've
what I-
seen, somewhat's an understatement.
from what I understand, they were talking about powers to change the world and powers to control the land, and powers over the reality itself, and other grandiose statements of the mages. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're no better than the relic hunters they send out. They're just of a better learned background and wield more power in their reckless ambition.
What colour tongue did he have?
Looks at you inquisitively.
Valid question. That's how you want to know.
Can't say I checked personally, but nothing was reported back out of the ordinary. Dressed in the robes of the Fae, and didn't have much in terms of personal possessions on him, but other than that, his appearance seemed regular.
Speaking of appearances, are you familiar with the Dragonborn by any chance that runs the bar?
Goes by the name of
Like where I
Babe.
live. My name of Babe. Like, I wanted to ask her some questions last night. I think she might have seen something and I can't find her.
Rings a bell. Forgive me, I don't keep track on the whereabouts of every man, woman, and child of the town. It rings a bell, and there's not too many Dragonborn of these lands. And
That's why I asked. Well,
aside from Trovis up in the council, it rings a bell, and it's not someone I know personally.
I thought she might know something about somebody that matched the information about that
I mean,
tunnel
your own,
that Elkis just mentioned in the outskirts.
if you think is a valid line of inquiry, I can let the guard know, certainly, but it doesn't seem to.
That'll really help us. I think nothing bad on her. We just want to ask her because she was just happened to be there last night and might have overheard us talking, and I just want to know because she is present at
Now,
the bar. If she's seen somebody.
I've been, I like to think, forthright with you. I've let you know what we know, what has happened, what is here. Groups like yours don't necessarily stay quiet, and word travels that you've been investigating, you've been proving useful, you've been taking up arms against threats to the towns, and that can be applauded, especially during these dangerous times. But my question to you is it just for the coin?
Before we answer that, what colour is your tongue?
He just opens his mouth and it looks regular.
Okay.
Satisfied?
I know.
I'll in a nonchalant way kind of nod to Elkis just to make it seem like not really that serious. Like asking for the blue tongue. So I'll just turn before happily answer any questions from that kind of stuff. It's to about the wizardry. You by any chance happen to have kept any of the items from this wizard?
He had a spell book with him that was preserved and kept under secure lock at Revel's End. Other than that, his personal artifacts were taken in, and it wasn't much. Some traveling clothing, small amount of coin, nothing of interest.
Any stones or bottles? Type of rocks of any kind?
Should there have been?
Don't know. Found some weird things around that made absolutely no sense, so I'm just trying to find a pattern.
Report didn't mention anything.
You know who we can speak to who looked at those items?
If you're willing to make the trip to Revel's End, you can be my guest, but don't expect much joy from the guards up there. It's the frozen hellhole. It's people there go to be locked away and forgotten about.
Well, they are
Just a-
guards, and they're doing a good cause. So they probably won't turn us away for even a cause that actually helps them out, will they?
It's more the travel. It's days travel northward through the tundra.
You say the
Lost
book is there as well, yes?
It's true, yes. We lost 2 on the commute on the transport back.
You
It's
know, you know
not a
that I
journey.
have nothing with magic, but I still just want to see the book for the sake of just the lettering and the writings.
It's not. You have to inquire at the prison. Should you wish to make the trek, it's not something I'd advise. It's a perilous journey at the best of times.
Is there a reason that you brought him all the way back to town from this prison days away to burn him?
Sorry, say again.
Show.
Is there a reason that you brought him all the way back from the prison to burn him?
It's the townsfolk who wanted the consequences. It's you must understand the people here they cling to the old ways. They cling to the Thieves Guild, and the law has to be strict so we keep the order, keep the peace, and they know the law. They know the consequences of actions, and taking the lives of those who reside here is met with force. It's symbolic. It's a statement to those who would think about crossing our people.
Well, we've come across somebody similar to him in another place.
A mage, one of the arcane, another member of the Brotherhood.
Might be very similar. Now, out of character for a second. I don't have my book cracked open, but I do have like character descriptions of people we met along the way and like we found dead. We did indeed find. It's been a couple of weeks. I can't remember, Rob. We did indeed find like another maid dead or something, right?
Found a magic practitioner as part of the adventuring party you found on the top of the mountain. Yeah. You have no reason to suspect they're part of any guild or arcane brotherhood as such.
Who the heck was it that we spoke to that we heard mention that stuff then? I know somebody did in regards to like that, the mages and stuff like that. Did I hear that wrong completely?
Dwarves.
When you fought Seffolk, he said that the Everwinter was everlasting, and not you, nor the Duragar, nor the mages could prevent that.
Yeah.
Then you smashed him into 1,000 tiny ice pieces.
But it was like, I think it was before, because in the early episodes, some of the adventurers were looking for that lost city, for example, and all kind of ties in, I think, word by word.
It's gravy time.
Yeah, one of them was a caster. I think we found out. We knew one of them. Garrett told me that there was a tiefling caster. I think he was
there was an arcane practitioner amongst them.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out what her next words would be, because I'm like, what the heck do I know? What don't I know? Anybody else want to jump, because I can't really remember.
There was a magic user amongst that adventuring party.
Yeah.
You don't have any reason to either suspect or not suspect that they were part of the Mages Guild or the Arcane Brotherhood, or if they were just an arcane. You recognize them as an arcane practitioner in the same way that Audrey is an arcane practitioner. Doesn't necessarily mean that she's part of a
Blue Tongue
Brotherhood. She's part of a Brotherhood, I guess, just not this a different one. You a few of you will have heard, like, the Arcane Brotherhood is not a secretive organization. You guys will have heard about a old guild of wizards, studied wizards, not necessarily warlocks or sorcerers. These are very much power-seeking, learned individuals who strive for absolute mastery over their respective schools. And the reason it sticks out in urban legend is that there is rumors and stories of how much exaggeration you don't know of some of these chasing power until it utterly corrupts them, and they potentially are striving to lich them or extra planar travel or to reality bending capabilities. To what success or unsuccess, you don't know. The guild is known for its striving for relics and power of a grand scale.
Which one of us has the Cardinal?
We all have different pieces.
Right?
Yeah.
I
I'm
have
gonna.
my necklace.
So, you you have information around what's been happening around these towns, problems, concerns, things that you wanted to speak around. You've heard our issues with the Brotherhood. What are the issues you've faced?
Well, you did ask us if we're in this for coin or something more personal, and it is actually very personal. Elkis.
Yeah. There's been a series of murders. For my part, it started with the murder of my mentor, Neris, who was a cleric a retired cleric even, that took me in Duggan's Hole. And as you know, back end of nowhere. And when I came out into the world to try and figure out what the hell's going on, we found that there's been more murders. And
While Elkis is talking, Celine's going to find a little bag where she has that piece of rock, and just wait until.
I mean, murders happen.
it wasn't just
some other-
murders. They stole something from my mentor, as this pendant, which I've never known what this thing is, but apparently it's important.
Now I'll take out the rock out of this bag and hold on to it.
People have been dying for it.
You think this ties into the Brotherhood? You convinced the mages about being the ones responsible for this killing?
This isn't the mages.
Not so sure about the mages, but
have you seen these rocks? And I'll put it on the table slowly. Don't touch it.
We came to town looking for this, what's been going on, and that's when we came across your barbecue in the square.
That looks like the rocks all over the Dales. It's sought after value to it. And we've got the figurehead in the hallways made of the stuff. There's wines up all over the place. There's statues, relics, rings, all sorts made of this.
Of this black stone specifically.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's been in the Dale longer than any of us have, and people find deposits of it and find pieces of it out in the wilderness and sought after.
There's been grey dwarfs killing for it. We came across a stronghold or a hideaway or something, and they'd been collecting this stuff, and they fought to the death for it.
Collecting it from where?
Well, this piece was from my mentor. This is where I recovered it. I don't know where the other pieces came from specifically. They'd stolen a magic lantern from one of the towns and a bunch of other magic stuff.
It's powered by the stone. So what you mean to tell me is that this has been sitting here for how long now, that giant statue?
Since before I came to the town.
And nobody has come. Does anybody know what else is in here? Anybody else knows that it's in here?
Anyone who's walked through the room, we haven't moved it. It must weigh a ton. It's been
We had the idea, didn't we, when we first found these bits of shardlin, that they might fit together to make something bigger. We couldn't quite work out how they fit together yet, but we think that it might be something that was destroyed and they're collecting up the different pieces. So it makes sense that, your
this
statue...
we? What, the Brotherhood?
No, we, as in this group here, us. When we first found this shardlin collection, we thought that maybe it could fit together to make something more. So we're not saying that your statue is in any way connected to it, but what we have is made out of the same material, obviously.
And people are killing to get to it. So just so you know that.
I mean, it's
thankfully
valuable. The traders and the merchants, hand over fistfuls of coin for the stuff.
Yes, but what I'm saying is what we have might fit together to make a bigger piece. So your shardlin might not be in danger because it isn't a piece of the puzzle that we are collecting. It's not so much that it's made out of shardlin. Well, that is part of it, but we think it fits together to make something whole, like a statue or a tablet or something.
We think there's a magical purpose or something. We found a note that they were trying to collect this stuff, and that there was other people involved.
And they do refer to a brother in the note, so maybe it is the Brotherhood. They refer to someone else as brother. Is that right, Andrew?
You mentioned it was dark. You mentioned it was dark dwarves that you recovered these from.
Yeah, greyskins.
I mean, Durgar haven't plagued these lands for hundreds of years. The surface world keeps them at bay.
Well, it doesn't, because we killed a few of them and met some more, so that's not true.
And there was two other very suspicious individuals that we had to get rid of in those caves.
Yeah, there was a very suspicious Yeti.
Not the Yeti. No.
Not the Yeti? Okay, sorry.
Not
So
the Yeti.
Durgar
as I-
are
Don't
around.
worry about the Yeti. The Yeti's.
As I understood, the tribes of old fought with these dwarves years ago, and dwarves tried to make headway and to establish a footing on the surface, and found it inhospitable and were driven back under. And occasional incursion occurs every couple of years, I guess. A few of them get emboldened, but nothing this far down south. Certainly no thefts. And is it something we need to be aware of? Is it, you say it was Dugan's Hole, and
But they have
Now
a stronghold.
hold that thought, Rob. Hold the thought. Rewind to the episode of being in that hole with the two guys, and we couldn't get through those bars. Those two guys that we killed. What were they again? They
Durgar?
Durgar.
They were
Durgar.
Durgar. I thought they were like some tall
You mean
guys.
the
They,
zombie
no, they
things?
enlarged themselves.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
cast a
Oh, they
spell.
enlarged themselves.
Durgar
yeah, that's right.
can enlarge themselves through magic.
Okay, so never mind. They were Durgar. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, they have a stronghold that we visited, and yes, we fought. One of them seemed to be a very powerful caster, almost killed all of us actually.
Yeah.
What,
It's an exaggeration.
they're dealt with. Is that the end of things? Is
Oh,
the
no,
is
we
there a
don't.
risk to the town?
We don't know if that's the end of things. But you just said that Durgar haven't been in these parts for hundreds of years, and I'm telling you that's wrong. And some of them are very powerful, and we're near here.
No, I understand that, but forgive me, I'm investigating and dealing with the threat of these mages killing our locals, and now you bring to me word of denizens of the Underdark walking around the surface world again.
Do you know where the
taking things
mages
and-
are?
We don't know if he was working alone. We don't know what else. We're hoping you had more information to glean on
And
the
you
subject.
also don't know if the mage was just defending himself and would rather die with whatever secret they might have threatened him with.
The mage is
That's
dead.
true.
Get out to
He's
the
of no
public
use
here.
to us anymore. The mage is dead. That train of
There's no
thought
way
is
of
gone.
knowing what he knew, but we know that there was a
But they
letter.
might not be a threat. The mages might not be a threat after all.
They're
There was
definitely
a
not a
letter
threat.
that referred
Yes.
to someone within the Durgar camp as brother. Adri, what specifically did the note say?
The note said, brother, you will find me in East Haven. The search for Shardlin continues. Long may Father's darkness reign.
So they're looking for Shardlin. We don't know if it's
Here.
just all Shardlin. East
East
Haven,
Haven.
yes. We don't know if it's all Shardlin or if they're looking for specific pieces of a puzzle. We have the Shardlin that they had in their stronghold. But that's why we're here. That
Yeah.
note led us here, and they referred to someone as brother.
DM, can I insight check the townkeeper to see to see any reaction to all these being mentioned, if he's...
Yeah. You may.
You won't believe me.
Did you roll?
I shall tell you. 22.
Nothing he said, none of his reactions seem disingenuous. He seems completely open. He doesn't seem to be misleading or evasive in any way. Seems genuine. So, you claiming these creatures are here in town and looking for more of this jeweler's crystal?
Well, that's what the
what
note
the note
said,
said.
and you've got a big statue made of the stuff.
I'm aware.
This is not a jeweler's crystal. This crystal does have magical properties, as we've noticed with it
I mean,
powering one
It
lamp.
lit a lamp or something, yeah.
Forgive me for the slight against your towns, but East Haven isn't some open wall settlement in the north. It's defended. We have guards. We
Which
haven't
I know very
established-
well, as I'm from here.
We just
which is
walked
why
in.
I'm
So-
bringing this to you.
Yeah, we walked
also
in and
have
them
some of your
that-
companions.
Chaotic law system where you burn people at stakes.
and we got attacked just 10 minutes walk from your town in that forest.
Did we?
Cluster
Wow.
of trees.
The outside the boundaries of the town is your own risk. That's
Yes, but
the
they were
same as
sitting in the pub with us just across from my apartment minutes
But they
before
didn't
that.
attack you within the walls of the city.
No, they didn't, but they were still
It's
in there.
outside the walls of the city. They're outside of our laws.
But how did they get in?
We're not here to argue
the
about the
same way
security
you
of your
walked in.
city. The note said that there is someone here waiting
Look,
for information.
my concern is this: that you bring me news that these creatures are in the town and could pose a threat to my people. You
Well, they are in the
understand.
town.
You understand the importance of investigating such claims and ensuring that the people are protected and making sure any slight against us is driven out.
Well, there were 2 in the town, but we kind of took them out of the town. There could be
They're out of
more.
the equation.
There was a Juragar in the bar the other night. We followed him out of the town to a site with a trader named Torga. They aren't alive anymore. We had to deal with that.
There weren't
But you had
any, as a DM note, there wasn't any Duragar.
It was a
Oh,
dwarf.
sorry, was it a dwarf?
Yeah.
Torgo was a mixed race dwarf. There was 2 human sellswords, and Sefik appeared to be human as well.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I got a.
Yeah, I thought it was a Durgar as well.
Yeah, I
No.
thought I had
Yeah.
Juragar because I picked it as my favoured enemy.
No,
And we-
No, we had the conversation of whether you
I-
should
yeah.
use dwarf as your favoured enemy because
Duragar
Oh,
are
the
a
other way,
type of
the other way.
dwarf.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Look, this is a lot for me to take in. Like, I want to raise an investigation in the town and have the guards on watch and to search some of the more abandoned areas to see if we can root this problem out before it becomes a problem.
Might I suggest keeping this investigation as close-knit and quiet as possible?
Of course, there'll be an element of subtlety for all her
Why don't we do it?
strictness, and Imdra is more than capable, and the guards, they know the town well, they know where
Why
to
don't
look.
we
I'd
do
rather...
it?
It is my town after all. I'd like to participate in this if possible.
I
can
understand
move
the
far more silently than your guards. We can get information that your guards won't get. And your captain is rude. No one's going to speak to her.
People know me here.
yes, it's fair. I mean,
I think she's very short-tempered.
she is. She's good at her job.
Letting us
You might know
investigate
me.
this would mean that you kept the circle of who knew what a lot smaller. You wouldn't have to tell your guards the full story, which wouldn't put them in danger. We already know what we know and the information we brought to you from our own personal investment in this and our investigation so far. Letting us investigate at your disposal and at your not command, but with you aiding us would keep the circle a lot closer and in turn protect your guards.
Tell your guards the bare minimum. Tell them to
Guard.
politely stay out of our way.
Just
or
leave them to
help if
guard.
need be.
Just let them do their jobs.
Mhm.
It sounds like you have a lot going on anyway. They'll obviously have a lot on their radar. Just let us deal with this.
Look, I'll tell you what. Give me 24 hours to investigate this my way, and if the guards turn up empty-handed, I'll turn an open contract for yourself to see what you can uncover. In the meantime, I do have something I could use a hand with if you're looking to make yourselves useful and go a long way of building some trust before I let you act on behalf of the guards.
For free?
Just have to hope that no one else gets murdered in those 24 hours, but yeah, I'm sure.
I have little faith in the guard. They may be brash and rude, but they're good at what they do.
What's the job?
I
Guard?
know.
We've had reports of smoke and
It's a fire.
All them bodies you're burning.
from had reports of
A high
smoke
five
and,
for Vale.
and disturbances in the cave surrounding the fishing lakes. A few of the traders and the fishermen of the area have claimed their hunting dogs and sled dogs going missing, and odd noises and disruption around the cave systems there. I was hoping there was going to be sending the guards out to investigate later this afternoon, but it seems there are more pressing concerns that I need them for. In their stead, would you be willing to investigate the area and report back your findings?
Do you have a budget?
Trust.
I was going to say, I think the budget is trust. You want us to
Fine
go
with
cave
trust.
diving?
Essentially, I want to know what's going on in those caves and what is creating the smoke and what's making our livestock and working animals go missing. In return for the information, and give you privy to the information we discovered during our investigation, and should we return empty-handed, we'll give you full reign and full pass to investigate your own discretion. You have the
I'm good
support of
for
the
it.
town.
Anybody else okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't
easy.
seem like we're going to have anything better to do.
No.
You must see it from my standing. The guards I've known years, I trust. I'm sure you're good at what you do, but within the standing of the town, as I've said, East Haven is dependent on the public's perception of those who govern it. The guard get away with their mood and abruptness by having
Barbecuing?
results. And if you were able to produce some results, I'm sure it'd go a long way in being able to get you more access and equip you with information you may be looking for.
That's understandable and makes sense, yeah.
Should you want more information, I may be able to get you a pardon to get access to Revel's End, should you want it.
Do we
Sounds
get
like a fair deal.
Do we get like a badge that says we're helping the guard?
No,
can get
that
you a
kind of
writ-
defeats
I can
point of
get you a-
discretion.
I can get you a writ that in case you come in contact with any of the guards who ask why
Yes.
you're questioning, and can get you a writ that will see you under not to be harassed by the guard.
Writs are
Well,
enough.
Yeah.
One for
that'd be
each of
good.
us, please. in case
May
we
also get you
separated.
access to town records, histories, things like that, should you need them in your investigations.
It's please.
Yeah. I was hoping it'd come like a metal badge or something, but that sounds good.
Stop getting
Make
fancy,
you one at one
Alquist.
point.
Paper is enough.
Okay,
Or we'll
so
make you one on the side.
if you
Is he wearing?
investigate
Is he wearing any bracelets or anything?
roll a perception check. I see where this is going, sir.
Can I'd be
don't.
looking and
Do you
like
have
help
the
him like point
shinies?
them out with
17.
my
He's got a rather nice, chunky, silver-looking signet ring. He's got a chain around his neck, and his actual clothes he's wearing do appear
Oh.
quite expensive.
See you rubbing those hands, 80. What are you thinking?
The neck might be a little bit difficult
Maniacally
to
thinking.
What's the DC of taking a ring off of a guy's hand?
I saw a
that the
fox
clothes
do
off
it.
his back.
I saw a fox do it with his mouth to a lion.
Will you stop watching those plays, Helkis? You go blind.
So, sorry, your name was again? He looks over to you, Salim.
Celine.
He doesn't know your name. I know it.
He looks over to you, Celine. Celine.
In character, that made perfect sense.
Fabulous.
Hey, what's your name, Salim?
Name Celine. Celine.
Ah, the things that D&D go right.
Yes.
Do we have ourselves a deal then? And he outstretches his hand.
Shake on it, and I'll shake his arm,
Just
and I'll
reach out
sleight of
hand.
hand him.
Oh!
Oh!
Go for it. That was a
As-
wonderful
as
little bit
Celine
of a...
reaches out to shake his hand, Gentle Steps is like, no.
What am I doing? Sleight of hand.
Celine will just move out the
Yeah.
way.
I'm
Gentle Steps
watching very,
lunges over Celine's head to shake his hand.
I'm watching very closely to see if I can spot anything.
Fair.
Oh, +5. 24.
Holy shit. Yeah. As you shake his hand, at the shock of like, whoa, okay, I guess we're shaking your hand now. And as he kind of pulls his hand away and holds it out for Celine, he seemingly doesn't notice that you have
Shake his hand
palmed
tight
a
and just.
silver signet ring.
As I'm shaking his hand, I'll kind of lean close and just say, trust works both ways, and then step back.
He just kind of nods towards you and holds his hand out to you, Celine, as well.
Shake his hand. Give him a nod. It's a deal.
Okay. Look forward to your findings. And
I walk up to him and hold my hand out.
he shakes your
Um,
hand in the most awkward way. Like,
I
sure.
hold- I hold my paw up for a high five.
He shakes it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Just gently growl under my
Now,
breath.
if you'd be so kind, I have more appointments to deal with.
Where's this cave?
Imdra will fill you in the details and
Okay.
see you out. I think this could be a good partnership going forward. If it's always good to have more eyes and ears out there that can produce information past the city's gates,
Just for your note.
boundaries even.
Just for your note, Rob. On the way out, I'll put the signet ring on a desk nearby the door.
So- Subtly or
Oh yeah, sort of.
Just slam it down.
Bam!
boom, take it and walk
I'm
off.
gonna tie it to Sebastian. and
Flick
throw
it back
Sebastian
at
at
him.
Just sneak in.
Okay, and yeah, the door is opened, and Daneth stands up and kind of curtly nods his head to you as Imdra leads you into the foyer area once more. Pulls a map and begins describing the area of where you are to be sent to. And we will pick up next time on
Dun, 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 dun.
Heavyweight Gaming.
Right.
Woohoo.
we'll
Cool.
wrap this up
Thank you very
quickly,
much,
so Steve,
Lunky.
go on, get
guys.
off first. Bye. Go on.
People,
But then you wanted
people-
just
right, bye.
Hey,
Gravy.
F4. Thank you very much, guys, for
Thank you.
watching. Thank you very much to
Bye.
chat. If you haven't already, please drop us a follow. It helps us out massively. If you want to catch up, you want to see the previous episodes, you can find us on YouTube, Heavyweight Gaming. This is episode 11. I am going to be producing a short little mini video for Story So Far. For those who are joining us mid-campaign, can have a quick 10-minute catch-up to be brought up to speed. That should be dealt
voiced
with
by
this
Morgan
week.
Freeman.
Voiced by Sean
Or-
Connery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
Short.
Short.
Shimmer.
Short.
He whipped out his
Shalene went in with her
Yeah,
shorts.
thank you very much, guys. If you want to you want to tune in next time, I believe we are back in a fortnight.
You are indeed.
We are back in a fortnight.
Dice of the Beholder are here on Sunday. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
well, next couple of Saturdays will be free of Pathfinder because the lovely Kerry and Martin have just got a new dog, so they're going to be spending a couple of weeks, inviting him into their home. So there may be some world building streams going on for the next couple of Saturdays.
Basically, guys, keep up to date on Facebook and on social media. If you give us a follow on all of those, you can see the schedule, what shows we have going on, whether it's Pathfinder, D&D, Carbon 2147, 45,
45.
Pretty
25.
cool, and the sequel apparently. Carbon 2185 can be seen on the
Playing it, and I still don't know the year.
Carbon
45.
1986.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your comments, guys. Also, if you haven't already, please, if you have Amazon Prime,
Give us
link
your
it
money.
to your Twitch account.
Give us
It
your
is
money.
completely free to do so, and you can then subscribe free of charge to a channel, and it helps us out massively
Money.
to help us increase the quality of. That's a strong word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Increase the quality
Increase
of
my,
the broadcast
shopping
and the
bill.
shows.
Come on, we've got this
And,
content too. Hurry up.
Basically, if we invest enough money, we can buy AD a wig.
Dali. So thanks very much for watching. Take care of
You can
yourselves
buy
for
AD
now.
some unloaded dice.
Say goodbye, players. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Love you all. Bye bye.